see. Love so dangerously. You're not trusting your heart to anyone. You tell me you're gonna play it smart. We're through before we start, but I believe that we've only just begun. When it's this good, there's no saying no. I want you so I'm ready to go. Through the fire, to the limit, to the wall. For a chance to be with you, I'd gladly risk it all. Through the fire, through whatever, come what may. For a chance at loving you, I'd take it all away. Right down to the wire, even through the fire. I know you're afraid of what you feel. You still need time to heal, and I can help if you'll only let me try. You touched me and something in me knew what I could have with you. Now I'm not ready to kiss that dream goodbye. When it's this sweet, there's no saying no. I need you so I'm ready to go. Through the fire, to the limit, to the wall. For a chance to be with you, I'd gladly risk it all. Through the fire, through whatever, come what may. For a chance at loving you, I take it all away.
it or don't like it, learn to love it because it's the best thing going today.
And what really killed me was last Christmas, we canceled a song that was written in the 1940s called Baby It's Cold Outside. People were triggered by that song. Radio stations wouldn't play it. They said it had toxic masculinity in it, and they said that the lyrics had suggestions of male sexual aggression, which is fine if you feel that way. But at the exact same time, the #1 song in this nation for over 2 months was entitled Wet. Ladies and gentlemen, I am not making that up. Google it. Check me out on that. I'm not lying. For over 2 months, the #1 song was played on the Grammys. It also won the Best Hip-Hop Song for the American Music Awards and the People's Choice Awards. And so I thought it would be fun to compare and contrast the lyrics of these two songs to see if indeed this country has lost its mind. Now, let's begin with the horribly offensive Christmas song written just after World War II, Baby It's Cold Outside. I really can't stay, baby it's cold outside. I gotta go away, baby it's cold outside. This evening has been so very nice. Yeah, you f***ing with some wet ass. Bring a bucket and a mop for this wet ass. Beat it up, N-word, extra large, extra hard. Put this in your face, swipe your nose like a credit card. My mother will start to worry. Beautiful, what's your hurry? My father will be there at the door. Listen to that fireplace roar. Well, maybe just half a drink more. Spit in my mouth. Look in my eyes. This is wet. Come take a dive. Talk your bite your lip. Ask for a car while you ride that. My sister will be suspicious. Gosh, your lips look delicious. My brother will be there at the door, waves on a tropical shore. Well, maybe just a cigarette more. I need a deep stroker, I need a weed smoker. Not a garden snake, I need a king cobra. I don't want to spit, I want to gulp. I want to gag, I want to choke. I want you to touch that little dangly thing that's swinging the back of my throat. I submit to you that this nation has lost its mind, everybody.
When I start selling pussy, I don't want to hear it. When I start selling pussy, I don't want to hear nobody say shit. When you see me on the corner, bitch, mind your business. Because these recruiters have one more fucking time to fucking play with me. I get in an argument with my mom every other fucking day. She comes in my face talking about some, oh yeah, mira, you have a degree, you can get a job any fucking where. I don't understand. Where? Where, Wanda? Where are the jobs? Every day I apply to like 100 fucking places. Bitch, I am so broke. I'm rationing my pussy with these tampons. Okay, bitch, I'm on my period right now. My cramps was horrible last night. I couldn't fucking take an Advil because I'm like, bitch, I don't know if we're gonna make it through the week. I'm over it!
Blue Jays, baby. Y'all don't know what a nigga going through right now. Oh, oh, Lord.
There's some good pussy.
Oh, she. Take me now.
There's some good pussy.
Oh, shit. This pussy good as fuck.
A nigga slid it in and almost gave it up.
Grip me tight, now a nigga got a pace. Tryna hold my load, had to switch the place.
A nigga battling the storm.
Try to stroke slow, but the wall's too mean. Change position, starting to scream.
It felt so right. Got a nigga holding on for life. Oh, she.
got that blessing between her thighs.
A nigga caught in the rapture.
I seen colors, I heard choirs cry. Had to fake a cramp just to stay alive.
A nigga ain't tryna go too soon.
This thing got gripped like a 2 vice clamp, sweating like I'm marching through a boot camp. Yeah, yeah.
Did some good pussy.
Oh, she feel like home.
Did some good pussy.
Baby, a nigga wasn't ready. I ain't bring no towel, ain't bring no prayer team, but a nigga gon' testify. Shoot-a-wop. This ain't just sex, this spiritual warfare, and I'm losing. Oh, she help me, Lord.
Did some good pussy.
Oh, she, I'm calling it tomorrow.
Did some good pussy.
Shoot, you got it going crazy. Pussy, soul snapshot.
What you want to do? Decades? Yards? What you want?
What the fuck you want me to say, nigga?
No matter what I want, it's a matter what you want. You want some advice?
Advice. All right. We here, why the fuck not? I'm all ears.
On the chorus, ad-lib a little bit. Layer the vocals differently. Something like, nigga, where's my money? I got the 4-pounder sitting right here. Don't try nothing funny. Something like that. You know, Nazir, 93, 94.
You know, that old shit you talking about. Nah, nigga, something more like, I got the blicky on me, OG, so don't try nothing tricky on me, OG.
I got mine too, young G, 9mm, and a lot of reasons why you shouldn't fuck with me either, young G. I'm the one that can pay you. I don't need to be the one that's gonna slay you.
Fuck, is this a battle right now?
I'm the brutalizer. I'm the Buddhicizer. I'm the accelerator. I ain't the type of nigga that be pissing in your elevator, but sometimes the rap game remind me of the crap game. I used to sport Bally's and Gazelles with black frames, but now I'm in the new chicks, Tex, and Becks.
Like what I was doing, you could have come and talked to me. Instead of going behind my back, bringing in some old drunk...
Stop right there. Now don't let your mouth get you into something your ass can't get you out of. Anyway, let me see your best combination.
Huh?
Huh, my ass. Let me see your best combination.
Show him, dresser. Stuff, cat. All right. Get daddy.
Just as I thought. That ain't shit.
Your father is the only man who wanted you to be better than him. I love you, man, but I don't want you to be better than him. That's real. Your father wants you to be better than him. And when he dies, you realize it. And the part that fucked me so bad was when my daddy died, I didn't have nobody to say they was proud of me. It fucked me up. Cause you know my dad used to call me and say, man, I'm so proud of you. And when he died, man, nobody said that to me no more.
See, every man got a weakness. Shorty right here, she mine. They call her the throat goat. She earned that crown. She the throat goat, baby, taking all control. All control. Got me testifying like she's saving my soul. Saving my soul. Every time she bless me, I lose my mind. Lose my mind. She the throat goat, baby, one of a kind. One of a kind. Met her at the juke joint, sipping on gin. Had a sly little smile, knew the trouble I'm in. Said, baby, let me show you what my mouth do. Well, next thing I know, I'm thanking God that I found you. Hallelujah. Every lick, all spit, she takes it to the face. To the face. No drop left behind, she the real saving grace. Saving grace. And when she finish up, I can barely stand. Barely stand. She the only woman turn a boy to a man. Boy to a man. On her knees, got me begging for more. More, more, more. Hit the right note, had me down on the floor. Down on the floor. Baby, you the preacher, I'm the choir tonight. Choir tonight. Singing hallelujah while you do it right. She the throat goat, baby, taking all control. Taking all control. Got me testifying like she's saving my soul. Saving my soul. Every time she bless me, I lose my mind. Lose my mind. She the throat goat, baby, one of a kind. One of a kind. See the neighbors know her name, cause I sing it loud. Oh Lord. Every time she suck it, I'm so damn proud. That's right. Call it gospel head, yeah, she set me free. Got me writing blues songs about her eating this deep. Tongue game strong, lips soft as silk. So soft. Got me pouring up liquor like I'm spilling milk. Spilling milk. Baby, take your time, don't you dare let go. Cause the way you suck it, girl, you're putting on a show. Finish up. On her knees, got me begging for more. More, more, more. Hit the right note, had me down on the floor. Down on the floor. Baby, you the preacher, I'm the choir tonight. Choir tonight. Singing hallelujah while you do it right. She the throat goat, baby, taking all control. All control. Got me testifying like she's saving my soul. Saving my soul. Every time she bless me, I lose my mind. My. She the throat goat, baby, one of a kind. One of a kind. Now the fellas in the band, they don't understand. Don't understand how one little woman got me in her hands. In her hands. But I ain't complaining, let the record show. Let it show. She the queen of the head, yeah, the whole world knows. When she call my name, I come running fast. Running fast. Cause I know that head game always gon' last. Always gon' last. So pour another shot, put it on the floor. This song right here for the throat goat. Throat goat, baby, taking all control. Taking control. Got me testifying like she say, saving my soul. Saving my soul. Every time she bless me, I lose my mind. Lose my mind. She the throat goat, baby, one of a kind. One of a kind. One of a kind, baby. Sing it loud. Let the whole world know she's a throat goat, and that's the gospel truth.
Yeah, this is what I'm made of. This is for the throne and the kingdom. The king's here, yelling freedom. Do or die, do it now if you believe it. You reap what you sow every season. Yeah, you kill what you eat when you feasting. Yeah, it's death before the sign and no treason. No, in a time of war, no retreat. Never lay down and die on my feet. I look the reaper in his eyes and won't blink. I'm the voice every time that I speak. It's like thunder when it strikes. I'm the king. I'm the king. I am supreme. I am. I am. I am the king. I am supreme. I am. I'm the king. You gotta keep going when you in the field. Yeah. Can't lose heart when it gets real. Yeah. Always push back, can't lose ground. Always stand up, never back down. Victory is key, victory is yours. Through the blood, sweat and tears coming out your pores. Through the tears and the pain cause you want more. Grind time through it all until it pays off. I'm in a league of my own. I'm a king and I'm bad to the bone. Heavy in the game, made for the throne. I'm out of this world, I'm in my zone. I'm the king. I am supreme. I am. I am. I am the king. I am supreme. I am. I am. Like a god. I'm the king. I am. I am. I am the king. Yeah, yeah, I am king.
Can you guys believe it's been a year this month since the last time I streamed live? Life has been doing what life does. Unfortunately, let me say something right out front. The fact that those that can actually live stream on a regular basis, let me tell you guys something for those of you who don't actually do the live streaming or do or try to work a little bit on YouTube, is the fact that if you don't have somebody who can support you with the other stuff that needs to happen in the life, this becomes hard to do when you're trying to push a boat. It's like pushing a massive boulder uphill by yourself. That's what it is. So, but I've just kind of relegated myself to, I'll pop in, do something when something is moving me. And today's subject has been moving me for a year because I plan to do this back in January. So it's been a minute. So thank everybody who came. Thank those of you who are here. We are not going to waste any time. 90 minutes. Shout out to Messy with Sean. She's live. Copa's going to be live in a little bit. So I want to get my shit off so I can go and aggravate them in their chat. Shout out to Take Heed to the Message because she constantly likes to aggravate her husband. So let's get it cracking, okay?
The very first time that I saw your brown eyes, your lips said hello and I said hi. I knew right then you were the one, but I was caught up in physical attraction. But to my satisfaction, you were more than just a face. And if I ever fall in love again, I will be sure that the lady is a friend. And if I ever fall in love so true, I will be sure that the lady's just like you, my friend. The very next time she will be my friend, someone who I can be my friend. The very next time she will be my friend, someone who I can believe in. The very next time she will be my friend, someone who I will make sure that the lady's just like you.
Yeah, listen. Everyone in the Black community, when I say everyone, please understand I'm being general. Everyone in the Black community always talk about this thing called love. You know, we sing about it, we write about it, we post memes about it. We make it the centerpiece of endless conversation, especially on Black YouTube. But when you strip away the talk and the talk about love, and you you start looking and trying to measure and love in terms of actual action, in terms of stability, in terms of sacrifice, what you find is not love at all. What you find actually is chaos. What you find is actual selfishness. What you find is actual brokenness disguised as affection. Now, if you've been around this space for any number of time, the Black YouTube space, any number of time, any length of time, you will always hear everybody talk about the numbers and what the cold numbers say. We have gotten very prolific in talking about the numbers, the black numbers, to the point where a lot of people dismiss them. But it's hard to overlook them when you actually start to sit down and you sit with these numbers and what they actually mean. So the cold, hard numbers say that in 1970, just over 35% of Blacks were born to unmarried mothers. This is not a knock or shot on Mama's Raymond. But by 2022, that number exploded to well over 75%. For me, that is not evidence of love. If 35% in 1970, we're almost talking 60 years now, was the out-of-birth wedlock rate for Black folk, and it's 75% now, how can you tell me that that's love? That's not even evidence of a family. Because everybody knows, historically, family is mom, dad, and children. So as of 2022, 75% has no mom, dad, and children in the actual home. For me, this is an epidemic of a broken family. Father's not having the most basic level of direct influence because he's most likely not in the home. And the children being brought into this world without the stability and the security that love is supposed to provide. But under normal, whatever you consider to be normal circumstances and cultural norms, we are not born out of a plan. We are not born of two married people. We are not. The reality is that Black people don't want to accept or haven't been brave enough to say it out loud, that 3 generations of us in the United States weren't born out of anything that resembles love or a plan. All of us were born out of either a one-night stand or something to do, or because he liked me and I liked her. That's it. Simply put, you, me, being here was never part of a plan. We were not a consideration or a factor in the actions of our so-called parents. And that's one thing that we have a hard time saying, accepting, and letting our mind even go there. That we were never, 75% of us, for the most part, are here, not because they were planned and not because we were any kind of consideration to the two people who were screwing. We're just here. So I can't deal with the charade anymore, and let us stop pretending that we somehow know anything about love. How can we know anything about love when nearly none of us were actually born into it? Let's stop pretending our pursuit of desire, our pursuit of lust, our pursuit of companionship is the same thing as building a family, and basically on the foundation, and we think we're building it on a foundation of love. Because if love really existed in the way we claim it does with Black folk, we would not be producing the outcomes that we're screaming about, that we're showing right now. I constantly say Black folk love to be finessed. How about this? How about this? You, me, being here, we're here as a result of being finessed. We are the results. We are the absolute results of a scam. Like Jay-Z says, when you think about it, you can't help to think it's a hard knock life.
Take the bass line out. Here go. Yeah. Let it bump though.
I see somebody said something's up with my microphone. Let me take a look at it real quick. Let me see.
How about, is this okay? Is this okay? I don't know. I'm trying to see. Hold on. Let me look at the audio. Default microphone, desktop mic. Yeah. Let me see. I hope that's it. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, cool. But yeah, most of us were born as a result of a scam, whether we believe it or not. And I say constantly, we love to be finessed. And the fact that we're here, 75% of us are here because of some kind of finessing that took place. Now, let me talk a little bit about what love is supposed to mean. A lot of people describe love in terms of a feeling. I love you. They talk about feeling. When you talk about somebody want to be with somebody, they talk about, oh, I want to be with them because I love them. Why are you with them? Because I love them. We talk about love in terms of a feeling. In my position has been for a long time, love is not a feeling, but we describe it as a feeling. But if you actually look at it, love is a verb. Because I know a lot of us didn't graduate from high school. I mean, maybe we did, but maybe we didn't do so good in English class or grammar class. Let me define what a verb is. A verb is a word that expresses action. So if love is a verb, that means love is an action. So in other words, love is what you do.
Baby, love is a verb. Love is a verb. See, you only heard say this four-letter word. But baby, I should have showed you more than I told you. I should have been making love like I was supposed to. Love is a verb, yeah, yeah. It's something you earn. You gotta put in the work, yeah. But baby, you're worth it. Girl, you deserve it. My lesson is learned.
Love is a verb. Love is what you do. Real quick before we go any further, let me go ahead and acknowledge the super chat from my boy Freezy at the No Captivity show. Thank you, Freezy, for the $10. He says, keep being the truth, TJ. I will do what I can, brother. I wish I had all my sound effects and stuff loaded up, but I don't. but I don't. That's what happens when you go on for a while. But I don't. But what I don't. Let me see. No, I ain't got nothing that I can even. Let me see. What can I give you? How about the Stone Cold Steve Austin glass shake? There you go. For the bunny. Thank you, Freezy, for the $10 super chat. Okay. Now, listen, when we talk about love, we always like to cite source 1 Corinthians chapter 13. We cite source that biblical verse without completely understanding because 1 Corinthians chapter 13, it's very poetic. And it often shows up in wedding ceremonies or in Hallmark cards or some other profound declaration of this thing we call love. So we use this Bible verse as the gold standard of identifying and describing what love actually is. And some of us try to use it as a weapon to illustrate that the one who broke us couldn't have actually loved us because they did not express their love in the way that 1 Corinthians chapter 13 actually says that we should. So we all like to cite source 1 Corinthians chapter 13 that talks about love. But if love is a verb, then love is an action, as I stated. Then also 1 Corinthians chapter 13 can be the proof that I'm saying that love is an action and not a feeling. So if 1 Corinthians chapter 13 is the gold standard of identifying what love is, then if I'm saying that love is a verb, love is an action, and love is not a feeling, then that itself should be borne out in the actual thing. So what I want to do is I want to take a short look at some of these of the verse, chapter 13. A lot of people, when they quote it, they start at verse 4. I'm actually going to go through one. I'm going to start at verse 1 because I'm saying it's not a feeling, but an action. Okay? So 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 1. If I speak in the tongues of men or angels, but do not have love, I am the only responding. I'm only a resounding gong or clanging cymbal. If I speak in tongues, the tongues of men and angels, if I profess love, but I do not have love, which is an action, the only thing that I'm doing is I'm only a resounding gong or a clanging cymbal. What does that mean? You are a loud noise that fades. Love doesn't fade. Actions doesn't fade. So if you don't have any action to your love, you're no different than a loud noise in a room that dissipates after that noise has been intimated throughout the space. Verse 2, if I have the gift of prophecy and can fathom all the mysteries and knowledge, and if I have faith that can move mountains, but I do not have love, I am nothing. Meaning, if I can see, if I can think, if I can have faith, but if I don't do nothing, I am nothing. This is talking about leading into describing love. This is the preamble to verse 4. Verse 3, if I give all I possess to the poor and give my body to hardship that I may boast, but do not have love, I gain nothing. Meaning, if I do something, but I'm doing it to boast and brag about it and not out of actual love or good faith, then I gain nothing. Once again, so verses 1, 2, and 3, before it starts describing what love is already setting you up, giving you examples of what happens when you don't take action. That all of these things don't matter if you are not taking action, because love, in my opinion, is action. So verse 4, the one that everybody loves, love is patient, action. Love is kind, in action. It does not envy, That's an action. It does not boast. That's an action. It is not proud. Pride is an action. Verse 5, it does not dishonor others. That's a state of being, which is also an action. It is not self-seeking. That's an action. It is not easily angered. That's an action. It keeps no record of wrongs. That's an action. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices in truth. Those are actions. Love, verse 7, it always protects. Action. It always trusts. State of being, which is an action. It always hopes. Action. It always preserves. Action. Love never fails. But where there are prophecies, they will cease. Meaning, if there is no action, it will cease. Everything that described love, everything that described what 1 Corinthians 4-7 described was an action. Now, one time when it talked about what love is, that at one time did it ever say that it's a feeling. But we describe, talk about, place value on an action for your feelings. This is not exclusive to women. Men do it too. But here's the other part of this, of 1 Corinthians chapter 13 that we tend to leave out, which is verse 11, which goes in part in conjunction with understanding love. And it talks specifically about you as a person and how you're supposed to evolve. In 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 11, when I was a child, I talked like a child. I thought like a child. I reasoned like a child. I reasoned like a child. I use love like a feeling when love is a verb and love is an actual action, but a child thinks of love as a feeling. So when I was a child, I talked like a child. When I thought like a child, I reasoned, I rationalized like a child. But when I became a man, I put the ways of a child behind me. Can somebody praise dance for me? Oh, I feel like praising him today. All right. Sorry about that. You know, sociologists and psychologists have long defined love as something expressed in care and commitment and intimacy and responsibility and respect and trust. Love is proven not in what you feel, but what you do. Raising a family is one of the most purest demonstrations of what love actually is. It is a decision to put someone else's needs above your own day after day, year after year. It is an action. It's what you do. And at its core, the decision to bring a life into this world should reflect the desire to nurture and to bond and to sacrifice. Married couples often have children as an expression, as a way to demonstrate to the world that they have some kind of love and stability to share. Historically, people plan, prepare, and build because they want their offspring, their legacy, as we like to say now, to be born into an environment where this thing that we call love is not just a word, but a structure that they can live on. Love is an action. Structure is an action. It absolutely is. You know, but When you have 75% of our children are born outside of that structure, what does that say? It says that that Black folk have confused the pursuit of desire with the practice of love. It says that we've allowed instant gratification to replace long-term sacrifice. And worst of all, it says we are handling our legacies, of handling our issues to our children for them to bear burden with and to give them confusion. That's what it says. The fact that we went from 35% in 1970 to 75% in modern day 2022, that is not a minor fluctuation. That is a multi-generational collapse. In over 3 generations, the majority of people, Black folk born in this country, have been born and raised outside of a productive, meaningful, planned relationship, primarily marriage, which is historically which is historically a typical family structure. Black folk is not alone in seeing an increase in non-marital births. We're not alone in the increase, but we are alone at the alarming rate of it. Despite the fact that we're not the only ones seeing the increase, when you look at our next counterparts that we like to talk about all the time, which is the white folk, white families in 2022, their out-of-marriage birth rate is 30%. Where was ours in 1970? 30%, 35%. We're looking at the Trump administration and their policies, and we're looking at them and we're going to war. Black folk, I'm talking about, we're going to war with Trump's policies, the elimination of DIY, the elimination of useless degrees as a profession. All of this stuff that the Trump administration is doing, they're doing it because because these white men, they know what's next after 35%, after 30%. They know what's left because they got Black folk to look at. We are a anthropological study of what not to do. They know 75% is on its way if they're already at 30, and 30 is a tipping point. So what is the Trump administration doing? Every one of their policies, if you sit back and look at them, every one of their policies is aimed to bankrupt white women and stop them from doing what Black women are doing, and to try to force them back into some kind of cooperative structure with their men. Will we be affected by it to a degree? Yes, but they're not thinking about us. Even though we're fighting them, they're thinking about their own self, their own survival, their own development. Their birth rates are low, even though their out-of-birth rates are going up. They're worried about extinction. So all of these policies that we're out here in the front lines for, they're doing it to try to get their women back in line before their 30% turns into 75%. And they got the institutional structure to do so. So while America as a whole has kind of shifted and out of birth wedlocks are going up, Black folk has taken this to the fucking extreme. Have taken it to the extreme. What does that mean in practice? It means that real, structured love is not shaping the family. Instead, people are born into environments where fathers are not a part of the structure in the most meaningful and impactful way, and moms are overwhelmed and overmatched, especially when their sons turn into teenagers. And then you got the grandparents out here who are now in their damn 30s and 40s, by the way. You got grandparents out here and other extended families. They're left to try to help pick up the pieces or the world has to teach your son a lesson. And the world will do that one of two ways. They will eliminate your son from this earth. They will eradicate him from this earth, or your daughter. They will eradicate them from this earth, or the system will swallow them up. Because fathers, black men, are not a part of the structure in the most meaningful and impactful way, that will leave our sons and daughters to complete destruction, which is what we're seeing right now. What's what we're seeing right now. We're the outcomes of that. Now, here lies the contradiction. We talk endlessly about love because our actions prove So our contradiction. We talk about love endlessly, but our actions prove otherwise. We glorify love in our songs and our movies and our conversations. When we're talking about, oh, we need to fix this, we're talking about love. But when it comes to the most tangible expression of love, building a family, we have and continue to fail miserably. Despite us knowing better, we actually know better. And we choose failure every day. We've replaced love with a survival flex. When you hear black folk talking about how they made it, you got to hear some down in the gutter, hard luck, had to crawl out of the sewer through 8 layers of hell just to make it, just to have, or whatever. We replace love with a survival flex. We replace devotion with lust. We replace commitment with short-term desire. And when the products of that come, which is the kids, they become the victims of this confusion. And just like my buddy says all the time, who's actually live right now, we do this every day, and it's always wash, rinse, repeat. Shout out to Messy Michonne.
Oh. Makeup, weave. Hey, spiders, makeup, weave. Hey, we got a new song. We got a new song. You all are the gift that keep on giving us, 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 on giving us. Hey, hey, makeup, weave. Hey, spiders, makeup, weave.
Before I let you go away, can I get a kiss good night? Before I let you go, can I get a kiss good night, baby? Before I let you go,
And then we sit around, shout out to Messy Michonne, and then we sit around and we wonder why we sit around befuddled about why that there's a circle of poverty and a circle of dysfunction, and it continues. We want to blame everything. It's the racism, it's the history, it's the lack of what's the word? It's the reparations. It's always something external. But the raw truth is that when we fail to re-engage in the action of love, it's the most, and understand that it's the most essential form for the family. We have set ourselves on the course to actual destruction, which is what we are on, which is what we're realizing right now. So the question becomes this: if love is a verb, baby, love is a verb. Love is a verb. See, if love is a verb, and if our actions, not our feelings, not our slogans, tell the truth about who we are, then what does our current reality say about who we are as black folk? Because at this point, we aren't just dealing with broken relationships or failed expectations. We are dealing with a cultural conversation that refuses to be honest about the damage that we have created, even within these so-called conversations to come to a solution. And then we pretend we are operating out of love and unity or community uplifting. And this is where none of us have done a good job in separating good faith from false prophecy. But alongside the good faith effort, other voices has come out of this. They've been loud, they've been seductive, and they've been downright destructive. Some of these voices tells us that what we want to hear rather than what we need to hear. These are the false prophets and those who are earning false prophets, PROFITS. They're doing it on the backs of the destruction of our black image. You got influencers, you got artists, you got so-called activists, you got fucking pastors, academics, and everyday people who preach quote-unquote empowerment while engaging in behavior that continues the absolute destruction of the foundation of who we used to be. False prophets, PROPHETS, who say, do what you feel. False prophets can also, who also produce dysfunction, freedom, chaos culture, and broken homes. They turn around and reap the economic benefits from these false prophets, PROFITS. Shout out to Hannah Davis, aka Just Pearly Things, aka the goat-faced grifter. I mean, I guess to the degree, I guess she must be a throat goat, because these Negro men keep lining up to continuously put her on and ensure that she continues to receive false prophets, PROFITS, on the backs and the ignorance of blacks and these Negroes out here. And yes, I'm going to name a few names. Lapeef, Fatty, and the Untouchables. You guys are out here unmatched, unsophisticated, and becoming or acting like you are a false prophet, PROPHETS. And then you're earning false profits, PROFITS. So before we move on, let's ask this. Are we dealing with our issues in good faith, truly seeking restorations, or have we allowed false prophets and false prophets, PROFITS, to dictate our narrative and move us into deeper confusion? And let me tell you something, that's not a question. That was all rhetorical. But let's be honest, good faith has become rare amongst black folks. Instead, what we have embraced on an alarming scale are the voices of these false prophets, PROPHETS, and the love of false prophets, PROFITS. Now, when people hear false prophets, the PH prophets, they think of preachers selling miracle water on TV at 1 o'clock in the morning. But the Bible describes false prophets as anyone who tells the people what they want to hear instead of what they need to hear. anyone who leads the people in the opposite direction of empirical truth, and anyone who confronts dysfunction and decorates chaos with fancy words or a fake sense of we're trying to work this out, we're trying to come to an understanding, you are a false prophet, the one with the PH. And if we're being fully transparent, the Black discourse is overflowing with false prophets. People inside the culture, influencing the culture, shaping the culture, telling us exactly what will keep us obsolete and from a resurgence. Shout out to Dr. What's her name? That female that fake doctor that Cam Newton and Shannon Sharp and all these motherfuckers keep bringing up. Cheyenne Bryant, is that her name? Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. False prophets. False prophets. So let's take it. Let's take a look at a couple issues. We're going to take a look at love, family, and church. And what we're going to do is ask the following questions when we look at love, family, and church. With each issue, are we dealing with good faith or false prophets? Prophets, or false prophets, Profits. What are we doing here? What are we doing here?
Baby, love is a verb. Love is a verb. See, you only heard say this four-letter word. But baby, I should have showed you more than I told you. I should have been making love like I was supposed to.
All right, let's talk about love a little bit. Let's talk a little bit more about love. And I want to bring up a clip. I'm going to play this clip. We're going to talk about it. If you guys want, while I'm playing these clips, if you want to come up to talk about these clips, I would love to. I'm not one of these people who actually enjoy talking to himself. I do like talking to actual people. So here's the link. If you are here and would like to come up and talk to me about these few things, and remember, we're asking the questions with these clips. Are they moving in good faith? Are they being a false prophet, or they're enjoying false prophets, Profit? And we're starting with the subject of love, okay? So I'm going to bring up this one real quick.
For our culture, our community to have gotten to the degree that it did, there had to be a certain percentage of the women that clearly hated their men.
You can't dispute a fact. I make it very difficult. I leave my opinion out of it and give you a fact. Then what I will do is, after I've delivered you a fact, I try to tell you at this point, when I leave my opinion, I sprinkle my opinion in it of why that fact exists. But you're going to have to deal with the fact I just gave you. And it's easier to say I hate myself. It's easier to say I'm gay. It's easier to say I have a small penis. It's easier to do all these things than to deal with the fact that we have a problem in the Black community, and that problem is called Black women. When they talk about Black fatigue, white people are talking about it. Have you noticed 90% of the videos that they yell Black fatigue? Guess what's going on in those videos? Black women doing something stupid. So why would they call it Black fatigue if they know 90% of the time is Black women doing it? Because, see, we don't get a chance to argue when you watch them cop videos. Black men don't get a chance to argue and reach in their pocket and say, you ain't going to arrest me for 30 minutes. We get tased real quick. There's a reason why George Floyd is dead. And all he said was, I'm not the type of guy. I'm not the type of guy.
Somebody just said, and I totally forgot about this when Halle Berry got her Oscar. Monster Ball. She had to sleep with old white boy. What was his name? Tommy.
It was dirty. His name was Tommy. Not Tommy Lee Jones, but Billy Bob Thornton.
Billy Bob Thornton.
And it looked like, I mean, if he wasn't sleeping with her for real, I think you're lying, because they looked like they was really getting
it. It looked real to me. That's his.
And that wasn't no acting there.
Now
That was straight up. And he was and think about it. In the movie, he was a racist.
Yes, he was.
Black women love sleeping with the racist. Why do you think you think about?
So far, that's Tommy Sotomayor, and I forgot the brother's name. Ask a Brother podcast. I forget his actual name. I see him St. John, something St. John. I don't know. I see them all over the place on all of these different panels and all different shows. Are they having a conversation right now? Are they having it in good faith? Are they having it in good faith, or are they being false prophets? Let's keep listening.
About this, they banned me from YouTube, but they've never complained about ghetto gaggers. How you gonna call me?
Now I got to use my imagination, but what the hell is ghetto gaggers? What the hell is ghetto gaggers?
A coon, but not call any woman who's ever been on ghetto gaggers a coon. You've never asked them to take that down. You've never said ghetto gaggers need to be banned.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It literally is. They're calling a black woman ghetto, spitting in her face, doing all kinds of stuff in the nastiest way, and they love it.
Wow.
I'll ask you this. Why is it that there's white women who said, even in the porn industry, who say openly, I will not sleep with a black man?
Mm-hmm.
No black woman who's ever said, I will not sleep with a white man. She's never said, this cooch is only for black men. I'm not going to go over there and sleep with it. As a matter of fact, you go on a dating site and a black woman will put no AA.
No African American.
Mm-hmm.
Snap.
Women who sell cooch, I heard, they be saying they won't sell it to an African American. Let a black man say this. They'll call him all kinds of sellouts. Black women openly have these black women who call themselves.
I want to know: are they doing the blame game, or are they just talking about a real issue? Are they having this conversation in good faith, or are they being false prophets? Now, I've seen Tommy in action, and some days I don't know with him. Some days I don't know. But look at the discourse that we're having, and is this any way near helpful to the quote unquote cause of what's going on with us? Or are they just up here trying to reap the benefits of all of these false prophets, profits? But they're going to be talking about love here in a second, so I want to get to that, okay?
Divestors, who they will then call black men bullet bags, all kinds of names. Do you know there's no black women that are messing around with them and leaking their names and leaking their address and trying to mess up their life?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Remember that black woman who said if you have she's a content creator right now. She's still on YouTube. She said, black women, if you have black male babies, abort them.
I've heard that. I've heard that, and that's not the first time I've seen and heard that. Where in order for our culture, our community to have gotten to the degree that it did, there had to be a certain percentage of the women that clearly hated their men. This is the only explanation for things to have gone this far, this bad, where if the stats say the child is going to have a much better outcome with their father, and you say, "Nah, the kid got to stay with me." If the stats are saying everything is worsening in the community,
I don't know if I accept it. I'm gonna go back a little bit and see what he's saying.
Are this bad, where if the stats, there had to be a certain percentage of the women that clearly hated. The first time I've seen and heard that, where in order for our culture, our community to have gotten to the degree that it did, there had to be a certain percentage of the women that clearly hated their men. This is the only explanation for things to have gone this far, this bad, where
I don't know if he's acting in good faith. Now, I understand the sentiment. I truly understand the sentiment. In order for things to have gotten this bad, there has to be a certain percentage. Notice he didn't quantify what that certain percentage is. But if I'm assuming, it has to be a large percentage for us to go from a near 80% intact family rate to only less than 30% of an intact family rate, that has to coincide with the actual number of our women who are choose to have children without the benefit of a full family. And was that done because they hate the men? I don't know. My initial reaction when I first heard him say that was I was in complete agreement with that. But then I had to run that through a couple filters for myself. And I'm not 100% sure. Is one of the answers that our women that a good substantial amount of our women have had to have a pure hatred or have a hate or disdain for their black male counterparts? How do you equate that to, and they keep screwing? I don't know. Somebody has to come up here and explain that to me a little bit. I don't understand. I don't know if this is a good faith argument or not, because it's assuming a lot. And a lot of times when we have these conversations, we are assuming the worst out of each other. We are assuming the worst about the intentions. So I don't know.
If the stats say the child is going to have a much better outcome with their father, and you say, "Nah, the kid got to stay with me." If the stats are saying everything is worsening in the community,
he said, the question is, or the illustration he's saying, he goes, if you're saying every stat is saying that the stat is saying that the kid has a better outcome if he's with the father, but the mama goes, no, the kid has to stay with me. He's basically saying that what he's arguing is still no family structure. Just give the kid to the father and the kid will have a better outcome. That is not the solution. The solution is not just keep the family unit apart, but instead of having a single mom, we're having a single dad, because dads can mimic to a degree the outcomes of a two-family household. You still are missing the other piece. Neither one can be all of the thing that the kid. Hell, sometimes both damn parents can't be all what the kid needs. Like lead attorney said one time, sometimes we just produce a damn dud. But what we do know is that the stat is correct about the fact that single mother households typically produce the worst outcomes. And I'm not going to necessarily blame them for them. I'm blaming it on the fact I've seen, been around, talked to, have in my family a ton of single mothers. And it's not that these mothers some of them are such horrible, horrible moms. It's the nature of being a woman. They're more willing to forgive fuckery than the father. They're more willing to stand on business. The father's willing to stand on business more so than the mother. Dads are the men who with a backbone, with good character, are more likely to enforce structure. We're more likely to do that than moms. You gonna cam up? So let me see real quick.
community, and you're like, but I got the job that I want. And I said it last night, and I'll say it again. Like, I'm convinced that there's a large percentage of women in this community that would love women. A lot of these women would rather rule in hell than serve in heaven. It's very, very clear and obvious. You don't care what happens to.
He said these women would rather rule in hell than to serve. I'm gonna get back to that. What's up, Almond Eyes? Are you there? Almond Eyes.
Hi.
Hey, so what's up?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up? Are you there? I keep saying, are you? Yes.
No, yes. I'm trying to figure out this new dude. What's this? Jeff St. John. Yeah. I'm trying to figure out if he's genuine or not.
But what do you think about what I'm questioning about what he's saying?
Because it's like he just came out of nowhere.
Can you hear me?
I think that is true for a small sector of women.
What is true?
Yeah, I hear you.
Can you even hear me?
Hold on.
Yeah, this ain't working. I'll come back to her when her thing was working. Let me go back real quick.
I'm convinced that there's a large percentage of women in this community that would love when a lot of these women would rather rule in hell than serve in heaven. And I said it last night, and I'll say it again. Like, I'm convinced that there's a large percentage of women in this community that would love when a lot of these women would rather rule in hell than serve in heaven.
A lot of these women would rather rule in hell than to serve in heaven. I'm having a hard time disagreeing with that statement. But not to make an excuse, because I'm not trying to make no excuses whatsoever. How do you convince 3 generations of Black women who have run their house, who have been the whole doggone show in their house, and how do you convince 3 generations of women who controlled the narrative, the political structure, the family structure? How do you convince these women to give that up when that makes them feel powerful? And in their mind, anything other than what they've been doing, they don't see that as powerful. So is it as black and white as they would rather rule in hell, or is it more so we got an ingrained bad behavior that is hard to break? Do a drug addict rather die than to give up the drug? Almanize, you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Honestly, as far as you're saying, how do we get them to give up the power?
No, that's not. I wasn't asking how do we get them to give it up. And I wasn't really asking that. I'm more so trying to figure out if I disagree. Like, on its face, I agree with him saying that these women would rather rule in hell. But I'm trying to analyze my feelings about that, and I'm sitting there asking the question. I think it's more complex than, oh, they would rather rule in hell. You're asking somebody, and I'm not trying to compare these women to like drug addicts, but it's kind of like when you ask a drug addict that's been a drug addict for 20 years, would you rather die or continue to be with the drugs? They're not going to choose death.
No.
But the habit is going to lead them to death. So I'm not sure if these women, the fact that they don't understand that they have delivered the absolute destruction of the Black experience in this country. I don't want to call us a community because we're not a community. Everyone keeps calling us a Black community. We're not a fucking community. There's no father. There's no family structure. There's nothing that really, other than the fact that we just individual people, that identifies us as an actual community. We don't even have a common set of goals. Black men and Black women goals are not even aligned. You got to have something, but those are not that. So my thinking is 33 generations of control is like 20 years of a drug addict. That's the best analogy that I can give. And I don't know, maybe I'm trying to make excuses for this because I keep saying on its face, I agree with him because I'm looking at the behavior and I'm looking at the results and I'm looking at people who know better. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like they don't know better. These are people who know better. Because every time we're out in these spaces, we're spouting the talking points, the data, the outcomes. We're living it. We see it. They know it, but they refuse to do anything about it. Is that willful, or is that programming, or is it both? I don't know.
Than serve in heaven. It's very, very clear and obvious. You don't care what happens to anyone in this community, including your own children.
It's very clear and obvious that they don't care. I want to agree with that, but there's a part of me that's going, is that good faith? To look these women like they really don't care? They would rather see their children destroyed. Yeah, we see all the things that are happening on when the gremlins are out there gremlin and the women are doing what they're doing. These are 3 generations of bad behavior. This is 3 generations of programming. This is 3 generations of, we're talking 60 years of being taught one thing and one thing only. And now that we are in the pits of hell, we're saying they don't care. I'm not saying I disagree with him, but I'm asking and I'm raising the question. Are we for real with this? Is that good faith? Or is he talking like a false prophet so he can profit? Profits.
This community that would love when a lot of these women would rather rule in hell than serve in heaven. It's very, very clear and obvious. You don't care what happens to anyone in this community, including your own children, including those in the womb.
Yeah, I'm going to get to my family in a little bit. I'm actually going to talk about it. No, I absolutely agree with that, but I'm looking at the rationale and I'm trying to figure out, what are we doing? Are we doing this? Are we moving in good faith? I'm going to get to my family. My family is messed up beyond all control. And the fact of the matter is I am part of the 75%. So I actually got 2 families. I got my mom's set of children, and then I got my dad's set of children. So when I talk about my family, I'm talking about the fact that I belong to 2 different sets of families instead of one family. We don't want to talk about that either. How when a woman has children, has 4 or 5 children, and each one of them have their own father, that is 5, 6 individual families that popped out of that woman. Not one. Hello? Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
Okay. My bad. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, no. I was listening to what you were saying about the 2 sets of families.
What do you think?
I mean, that's kind of commonplace these days. I mean, man, the problem is like with the women, the programming is so strong that they really don't see a problem with what's going on.
Let me pull back a little bit to listen to him again.
But I got the job that I want. And I said a certain percentage of the women that clearly hated their men. This is the only explanation for for things to have gone this far, this bad, where if the stats say the child is going to have a much better outcome with their father, and you say, "Nah, the kid got to stay with me." If the stats are saying everything is worsening in the community, and you're like, "But I got the job that I want,"
and I want to stop that. I don't understand why we keep having that talking point that somehow Black women as a whole are getting these phenomenal jobs. They're not.
They really not.
We do not. The majority, it's like something like 80% of Black women work in like retail / hospitality. Mm-hmm. Ain't nobody making this kind of money. I don't understand why they even, and he knows that, but yet he uses that as a talking point. So this is where I go, this is where you're being a false prophet.
False prophet, yep.
Because you are propping up something that is willfully, woefully untrue. And you're trying to make it like it's the norm. Like these women, like our women are doing so wonderful and have all of these. They're not. Less than 7% of Black women make over $70,000 a year.
Exactly.
7%.
Exactly.
7% is nothing. 80% of our women make under 50. What are you talking about these big jobs? I don't know what you're talking about. But they talk like women, like there's like 15, 20 million black women, which is the entire population of black women, are sitting out here with these high-powered jobs. They're not.
Nope.
This is where I go, you're helping contribute to feed the beast.
Yeah. Because that doesn't
it doesn't square.
No. And then nobody ever talks about, like, I have a younger sister, so both of us are fortunate enough to be in that 7% that makes 70,000 or more, but neither one of us have any kids, any property, anything of that nature. So we coughed up half of it in taxes. So it's still, not all this fantastic money that people want you to think it is. It's different making six figures and bringing six figures in the house. That's two different things. But nobody wants to have that conversation.
They don't understand that even $100,000 salary is not a lot of money.
Nope.
Because when you adjust for the $25,000, they're going to take out in just federal taxes, and another, and depending on the state, the other 12 to 13,000 they're going to take out in state taxes. Then we're talking about your Medicaid, your FICA, and all this other crap.
Right. So guess what? You no longer have six figures.
You're walking around with the person who makes $100,000 a year has the same buying power as somebody who makes 70.
Pretty much, yeah.
Same buying power.
No, nobody wants to talk.
But I just don't understand. This is where things get. I cringe when I hear this, and when they talk as if that our black women are just not being cooperative because all of them are making so much money in these high power. No, they're not. No, they're not.
Not at all.
And black women only want a man with more money when she's done being run through.
This is true.
And I said it last night, and I'll say it again. Like, I'm convinced that there's a large percentage of women in this community that would love when a lot of these women would rather rule in hell than serve in heaven. It's very, very clear and obvious. You don't care what happens to anyone in this community, including your own children, including those in the womb, if it's not a benefit to you. And I'm like, you do realize in order for a community to functionally get this bad, one of two things or both things have to happen simultaneously. There has to be a massive failure on the part of those who are supposed to be protectors, protecting the outside influences from contaminating the culture and the family and the community. And I think that to a large degree, I think men falling for the drugs, the CIA planting it, so much of us focused on the type of jobs and the factories that got shipped overseas and not having other options in Camden and Philly and you name it.
This is what I don't understand. As he's rattling off all of this stuff that has happened to us, the fact of the matter is that we're sitting around here not really completely understanding that it was a systemic hit job on the black family. That it was a multi-pronged attack on us, and it's not like we don't know. Everybody wants to sit around and have this conversation like we don't know this. We know this information, Almond, and we continue to move accordingly. Are you there? Or did you?
No, I'm here. I'm sorry, I had you on mute. Yeah, I mean, we know that, but him harping on that is not profitable. So he got to stick with the, you know what I'm saying, it's all black women's fault and black men ain't getting on nothing.
So you're thinking this is sounding more like false prophets, PROFITS, coming from a possible false prophet, PROPHETS.
Yes. Based on you know what I'm saying, the streams that I've seen of Mr. Ask a Brother podcast, yeah, this is a false prophet.
I don't know. But the key indicator is, are you disseminating information that you're knowingly to be false? Him claiming or making the intimation that black women are making all this money and that's why they're doing what they're doing. They got all these big jobs. That's woefully false because he actually talks against it.
in Pittsburgh, that makes sense to me. For the ladies to have gone to the lengths that they've gone while simultaneously getting the advancements that they've gotten on their end, personally, seeing
what advancements? What are you talking about? Where's the tangible proof that black women have gotten so much more than the average black man?
I was about to ask you that.
That's a lot. It's a lie. And I'm not saying that black men are so much further away from their women, because we're not. We are ahead in a lot of areas, but we're definitely not behind. What are these so-called gains that black women have gotten?
I told you he out here talking, you know what I'm saying, to get them funds rolling in.
I don't know.
and knowing how the court system moves, utilizing the police, utilizing the family court, working and aligning with white feminists and white liberals who was sponsored by.
Yeah, I know the fella is a therapist. His credentials are there. I'm not denying that. I'm talking about what he's talking about. The fact of the matter is, he's talking about our women have gotten so many gains. What gains? Where? In what area? And what capacity? What are you talking about? Other than the fact that they have the ability to take and lay claim as the exclusive owner of the children, and then use the legal system to crowbar financial resources away from the father that they chose. What other gains have black women gotten that is just so much further along than black men? I'm talking about today. I could make an argument for it in the 60s and 70s. I'm talking about today.
Well, let me ask you this. I mean, I don't see him either as a black woman, because I mean, I would love some gains. We're talking, saying about the court system and all of that, but even as if the father, is halfway decent and about himself, and fighting for the child, is she really getting that much?
No.
That's what I'm saying.
Average child support is like $375, something like that in the country. It ain't that much.
That's what I'm saying. And now it seems like the court systems, are trying to, catch up with the times. I mean, personally, where I am, a lot of men are getting custody, and these women on child support.
Yeah, I don't know.
By the CIA, you said it, that they're the right hand of white supremacy, and I'm like, and they're tag team partners with white feminists at this point. And it's like, I saw a video last week where there was a group of feminists, all non-black, stating that the black community is the model for them to be able to eradicate the traditional family and the need for men.
And this is why the Trump administration is doing what it's done to the civil rights stuff. Because the biggest beneficiary of all of affirmative action and equal opportunity is their women. This is why they're eradicating it. And a lot of us believe this shit's about us. It ain't got nothing. I promise you, they don't think about us like that. We are insignificant to them. I believe in their minds, we've been destroyed. We're not a factor. We're not even a political factor. We can be an economic factor, but we choose not to, because we have decided and accepted the fact that we don't need to be around each other.
This is true. And somebody said something about it's about
black
Karen.
people.
Karen be laughing at us.
I started off at the beginning by saying that we are an anthropological study of what not to do.
Facts.
And they study us more than we study us. They know us better than we know us. That's why they've been able to do what they've been able to do and influence us. And I'm not making excuses, because we continue to allow it, knowing that they're doing it.
Yeah.
Knowing that we're doing it. I got one more thing I want to bring up.
Okay.
For this special
Ebony K. Williams. Welcome to the Dirty Bitch Hall of Fame.
I was gonna say
are earning above our male peers. Black women especially.
That's what I was gonna say.
Are earning above our male peers.
Absolutely.
Once again, same thing.
That is a very real thing, possibility that Black women have to face.
Watch.
And that we are out earners. We are, we are the most educated demographic in the country.
The lies. There you go. This bitch.
The lies.
Black women, I don't know why they keep going on with this trope. You're not the most educated group of women in the country.
It wasn't true then, and it ain't true now.
Nah, it's the Asian women, but we keep doing it. They keep. I hear it at church. I hear it at work. I hear it everywhere I go, and I go, "You liar! No, you're not. It's Asian women. No, you're not. You are the most enrolled woman, a woman on the planet. But how many of you complete it? Being enrolled.
Right, nobody wants to talk about we're the most enrolled because a large majority of them is, on the government benefits, and that was a requirement. Go to school to keep your stuff going.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's right.
That was her direct response to her Breakfast Club interview, where she was saying, it's mediocrity for a man to make less than such and such or whatever. You guys remember that?
So let's talk about average, mediocre, and typical. This is simply to say when you do something average, by definition, it is a typical value. It is normal and it is standard. When you are regular, normal, acceptable. When you are mediocre, that would have people real high. It means ordinary, medium, commonplace, and moderate. Nothing in there says you ain't shit. Nothing in there says it's bad or low or beneath.
They've applied the negative connotation to those
That's
words.
a projection, and I'm not going to stand for it.
So she is, I learned this from women, clapping back at the Black community by saying, hey, I'm going to stand on this. You guys can't say nothing about it.
Same.
Yeah, I'm just not. And you're not going to make me feel a way about it.
That's right.
Bloop. Bloop.
She told y'all.
I'm gonna just go there and make some folks mad.
Here we go.
Because I am a high earner, it's very likely and possible that under certain circumstances with a father and a co-parent, I would end up paying child support for my own child. Again, as Halle Berry is showing us.
She said, as a high earner, I'm more than likely, if I try to co-parent, you ain't co-parent because you got squirted on with a turkey baster. You might pay child support for your own child. Newsflash, you raggedy, what did I call her? Welcome to the Dirty Bitch Hall of Fame. You raggedy, dirty bitch. Ain't that what men do? They pay child support for their own child? Am I wrong about that, Almanize? Do black men
are not.
Do men pay child support for their own child? What kind of, and she's supposed to be a high earner and a lawyer and supposed to be smart, and she said one of the dumbest things I probably ever heard in my life. Of course, Halle Berry, like it's okay for them to receive resources from some man that they never married, but decided to extend his life through another child. That's okay. But if your monkey ass gotta pay, then now we're offended.
That's a problem.
It's a whole damn problem. Ugh.
But notice how we see Ebony everywhere except the courtroom.
Yeah.
As Mary J. Blige has shown us, as Sherry Shepherd has shown us.
Yes.
It's a real thing.
Yes.
And you don't have to even be famous to do it. Women
That's
are doing it every day these days.
It's funny that, I see women start to understand men's concerns when they start to see it happen to them. Like all the ladies that she mentioned, they all have to pay alimony. They may be paying child support. And that gives Ebony K cause for pause. She's like, man, I'm concerned about getting married because I may end up paying for my own kid or paying some guy because I'm a high earner. So it takes that stuff to go against women for them to understand why men are concerned or simply want prenups. So honestly, I would say that's a good thing. You know what I'm saying? That they're starting to understand. And men, you shouldn't feel ashamed if you don't feel comfortable getting married or without a prenup, because black women in these spaces, they're starting to understand why you guys have a concern. Okay? And just to be clear,
I do not believe that they're starting to understand. They just don't want it to happen to them. They don't understand shit, in my opinion.
I would agree.
They don't. I think when he says they start to understand, I think it's giving the illusion that they can relate, or that they might be sympathetic to the plight of their counterparts. I don't believe that for 1 second in the world. I don't believe
he another one I think is a false prophet, but I'll keep that to myself.
I don't know if he is or if he is not. Which one? PROPHETS or PROFITS?
I think he is all about the PROFITS. But anyway.
Yeah. Well, of course. I mean, guess what we do best? We allow people to come in and make money off of us, off of our destruction. We're good with that.
On the divorce rate as a whole, I want you guys to look this up. I believe it was on divorce.com. They have all of the information that you can find out about divorce. The current divorce rate is 42 to 45%. So it's not actually 50-50. So the divorce rate is 42 to 45%. Go look, when you have time, trust your uncle, go to divorce.com. So if that makes a difference, so be it. If it doesn't and it's negligible, that percentage or whatever, that's perfectly fine. But I wanted to put the truth out there because I see people saying it's a 50% divorce rate, but 42 to 45%, I mean, that's some give or take or whatever, depending on how you feel. But there is a majority chance that your marriage will last till the end of days. All right. So if that gives somebody hope that wanted to
that's not a large, but flip a coin.
Okay. Yeah, that ain't a large difference.
Get married in the future. There you go.
Statistically, as you've named, Black women especially,
that's what I was going to say,
are earning above our male peers.
Ebony K. Williams, welcome to the Dirty Bitch Hall of Fame.
I had to go there one more time. Statistically, but no, in no matrix is there ever are women out earning Black men. I don't know what statistically she's coming from. But you got a whole class of women. So are they operating in good faith, or are they being false prophets? PROPHETS.
So they are not operating in good faith.
Black women especially,
that's what I was going to say,
are earning above our male peers. Black women especially,
that's what I was going to say,
are earning above
no
our
woman
male
is
peers.
earning above the man. And we gonna get into it.
Y'all hear that? Once again, same thing.
Black women especially,
that's what I was going to say,
are earning above our male peers.
Absolutely.
Black women are owning homes at higher rates above our male peers.
That is true.
Yeah, but that's only because men, don't buy homes until they get married for the family.
They want families. But somehow they using that as a flex. I've had women be like, oh, I don't know why you almost 40 now, because I don't have a family. Why do I need all that space for?
Right. And getting in, keeping it for 5 years and then getting foreclosed on, I mean, that ain't no flex either. That's what's happening.
That ain't no flex either. I want to move on. I want to talk about family for a second.
Okay.
You would think that if anybody would operate with you in good faith as your family, if there's anybody. But too often for us, because of the way that the family dynamics are structured, it's because it's mom and then there's 4 or 5 kids in the house with different fathers and no real direction or a single flag to run up under. Everybody in the house got a different last name, which is wild to me. You would think that that you could operate, or there's some sense of operation under good faith within your family structure. But even then, where you are made and baked at, which is within your family structure, you are running into false prophets within your own family. I wanna show something real quick, okay? And I want you to get your reaction to it.
Okay. Compilation video of some single mothers sons that they messed up the relationship with, and they just don't understand what happened. I want to go ahead and check out this clip.
I'm gonna need y'all to help me understand why my son hate me.
I finally came to the conclusion and had to accept the fact that my oldest son hates me. And I can't be mad at him for it because it's my own fault.
I am just really sad today. My son and I, we don't talk much. I try with him. He just doesn't like me. I was 19 when I had him, and I made a lot of mistakes as a parent, and I've been trying to make up for it. And he just hates me so much. And it hurts so bad. He's my only child. And I just want him to love me, and he doesn't. He just hates his mother. It's so hard.
It is extremely painful to love a child that does not love you back, especially after you have been really good to them.
Y'all know I'm a mama for my oldest child, a 17-year-old, and I'm just gonna say I feel like Jit don't like me. I feel like Jit do not like me, and I can't fathom why.
Let me tell you something. Your son did not wake up one day, you being his mother, because a lot of sons.
Before I let him get going, noticed all of these women talked about their sons. What the hell? I'm assuming all these boys that they're talking about are upper teens, about to turn adults.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if they're not already grown.
Yeah. Why are all these boys disliking their mother? What did they find out about? What realization did they come to about their mothers?
Is she a liar and selfish? Because all I heard was about what they wanted and nothing about, what could have happened that my son don't like me or don't love me, or, what could have happened in our relationship. Everything was about how they was feeling about it. But one thing I've noticed with women is, especially single moms, they tend to have a problem separating the relationship you had with the father from the relationship they supposed to have with the kid, especially the son. Your relationship with your son should be completely different from the relationship you had with his daddy. Just like the relationship you had with his daddy should be completely different from the relationship you had with your daddy. But they want to mesh it all together. So because you hate the man, you done transfer some of that onto the child, and now the child done got out here in the world and figured out, okay, mama been in here telling lies, or all of this wasn't daddy's fault, but they can't come back and have a conversation to try to find out what's going on. And then what usually happens is they end up going to the other parent, usually the father, and get their side of the story, and then mesh it all together and be like, okay, mama did me dirty for no reason.
She did me dirty. That's the conclusion that we come to, is that mom did me dirty. Now, there's been no secret. I'm glad there's only 3 people here. There's been no secret that that I was not raised by my mother. My grandmother took me in. I was about 5 or 6 when my grandmother took me in and raised me. But let me tell you something, that ended up not being the saving grace that one would thought it would be. I went from one tragic situation to a very different situation that turned out to be a little bit tragic, but you can't convince my grandmother that she, Lord have mercy. But a lot of times with the mothers, I'll stick with the mothers. The mothers, they are so awful to their children. And let me tell you something, you not providing your son with discipline and structure is still being awful. You raising your son without you can give him everything, let him run wild and rampant. He can hate you because you did provide him with the tools of structure. You probably can't raise him into a man, but you damn sure can provide some sense of structure. Discipline,
exactly,
some level of discipline, some level of boundaries. But because I'm working with somebody right now, or I'm not working, I shouldn't say working with. I got somebody right now that I know, and I'm telling, I said, your son is 10, and the boy is, my God. And I said, in a couple years, there will be nothing you will be able to do with him physically, because at some point the boy will grow up and he will become stronger than you as a teenager in your own home, and then a damn thing you can do about it. If you don't set up no guardrails in him before that happen, you're done for. You're done for. He will physically take over your home because he can. And he's lived this entire life without a single guardrail or a single thing that's been installed in him that he should not do what he's doing, right. which is his nature, which is to conquer and dominate. At some point, your son, you just some chick to your son.
Exactly. Yeah, when they get out there, when that testosterone kick in, they get out there in the world, and got a minute to sit down and think about what's been going on. They be like, "Hey, damn, mama, just like the rest of these bitches."
Just like the
my life could have been so much better if mama wasn't on that BS.
Yeah, wasn't on that crap.
Especially if they get home to their daddy and his people and get their side of the story.
Good Lord, my mother, while she did not raise me, I've never been treated so horribly in my life by an individual. I don't think I told anybody this, but I grew up because my mother would always lash out at me, even though I was living with my grandmother. She had this spiteful, hateful posture with me, as if I did something to her. You're the reason why I'm not with you. I ain't do that to you. I was taken from you as a kid because you couldn't keep you couldn't find a way to keep your husband's hands off of me. I'm talking about like violently. And you helped a lot of times. And the worst part of it was at your hands. But yet, growing up 10, 11, 12, 16, 18, the way she would treat me when she came around, as if it was something I did to bring me out of the house. I was taken. And a lot of these mothers, especially their oldest sons, do not do right by their sons, and then wake up one morning, and as they're getting older and want to pretend like they don't know why their sons don't want nothing to do with them. And then what's even more diabolical is that these raggedy women out here will make statements like, "Well, if he don't have a good relationship with his mama, then I can't be." You don't know nothing. You don't know what kind of monster that man came from. And you want to dismiss him because let me tell you this, Almanac. My daughter just turned 11 the other day. On Saturday. My mother's never seen my daughter.
Wow.
Never. I won't allow it. Because how awful she is. Her idea of discipline is violent. Her idea of, if a baby is crying, if a baby is inconsolable, they got an earache or whatever the case may be, her idea of dealing with that is putting liquor in the baby's bottle or the cup and giving them alcohol and making them drunk.
So we can't do that. We can't do that.
Hey, that's my mother.
Raising alcoholics. We ain't doing that.
That's my mother. It's one thing when you grow up and you think your parents don't like you or they hate you. Let me tell you something. It's another to actually hear it.
Damn.
My mother 2 years ago finally got the nerve to tell me that she hated me. It was kind of freeing and liberating, because it's one thing to walk around your whole life wondering. I could feel it. I could see it. But to have that motherfucker confirm it, it's a bit different. And so family, oftentimes, you understand what I'm saying, is not a source of good faith either. So how do you develop good faith? At the beginning of the stream, I talked about how do you know anything about love when the majority of us were never born into it? Never. We weren't born into it. We didn't see it. We can't model it. We can't teach it because we don't know nothing about it. And we view it like a child. Remember, I read the whole 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verses 1 through 11. The last verse talked about because that whole chapter talks about love and what love is. And the last thing it says for you to understand love was that when you was a child, I thought as a child. When we think about love, we think about love in the way of a child thinks about love, like it's a feeling. It ain't got nothing to do with a feeling. And that verse, that Bible verse, that chapter in that Bible described what love is, and not one damn time did it said it was a feeling or anything close to a feeling. Everything it said it had everything to do with an action. It's what you do. It's what you do. Good faith. Good faith. How can you have good faith? How can you operate in good faith when you weren't born or raised or developed in love? 75% of us were not. 3 damn generations of black folks walking around here right now.
Yeah, it's hard.
Talking about love, 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 and your ass don't know what it is. I had a friend who was going through some shit with her husband, and she wanted to leave him. I said, why you want to leave him? I can't do this no more. Why can't you do this no more? I'm asking her this. Why can't you do this no more? She told me what's going on. This shit was bad what she was telling me. Part of it was the fact that the nigga dick couldn't get hard no more, and he wasn't gonna do nothing about it. She's an older woman. He's an even older man. He wasn't gonna do nothing about it. So she was getting frustrated. She said he won't even lick on me. Nothing. She
Lord.
And she's talking to him, don't know how to talk to him, and she's angry at him, and she just wants to leave. And I asked her one very good question. I said, hey. She goes, yes. I said, you got married, right? She goes, yes. I said, you had a ceremony? She goes, yes. In that ceremony, did you guys exchange vows? She goes, yes. I said, was any of the vows that you exchanged had anything or resemble for better or for worse? She said, yes. I said, this is what for worse looks like.
I know she don't want to hear that.
Got quiet. What part of for worse? This is what it looked like. Sometimes you got to save your wife as a man, and sometimes as a wife, you got to save your husband. I said, and I told her that, and I said to her, you got to find a way to talk to this man. I said, you know how to talk to him because you got him to marry you. You got to go find a way to talk to him like that again, to let him know what he's doing and what he needs to do and how you're going to support him through it. For better or for worse. Love. I said, she goes, I said, do you love? She goes, I love this man. I said, love is not a feeling, it's an action. What are you going to do? You want to show some love? You get up and you do something. What are you doing besides talking about you want to get up and bail because for better or for worse, don't look like what you think it should look like. I didn't hear from her for 2 months.
Well, I hope she thought on what you said.
Last week, got a phone call. Hey. And she ran me down the list of things that she did. Good. So when I was talking to this woman, by the way, who's quite gorgeous, was I operating in good faith?
Yeah.
Or could I took advantage? Or how many guys would have taken advantage of that?
There's a lot that would have taken advantage, but you were operating in good faith.
Good faith. But how do I know how to operate in good faith when I wasn't raised with love, or I know how to do it in good faith? But that's a whole nother question for a whole nother day. Shalou Beans, how you doing? I know you're not here no more. You just dropped in, dropped some stars, and left. You could at least stay for 5 minutes to give me damn watch hours, you bastard.
Wow.
Good faith. Family. Here's another thing I want to talk about family.
Channel, and welcome back to another video. On this quick video, I want to talk about the 3 reasons I don't loan money to family or friends. And then at the end of the video, or towards the end of the video, I want to talk about the alternative that I do instead of loaning money to family or friends that I think is really a good alternative because it is a win-win situation. And so it really works out well by doing that instead of loaning the money to family or friends. So my name is Eric, and I write a blog at smartmoneybro.com. And on that website, I write blog posts and articles that really help ordinary people like me and you.
Family. Let me tell you something about family. If you are the one in the family who actually is productive, and this is the part I wanted to talk to, if you're the part of the person that if you're the one in the family that's productive, they tend to come to you on a regular basis, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And they come to you with their hat hand out. I'm gonna drop you down for a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, don't go nowhere.
Okay.
Hold on a second.
Makeup, weave. Hey, spiders, makeup, weave. Hey, we got a new song. We got a new song. You all are the gift that keep on giving us, forgiving us, forgiving us, forgiving us, forgiving us, forgiving us. Hey. 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 Spiders, makeup, weave.
Before I let you go away, can I get a kiss good night? Before I let you go, can I get a kiss good night, baby? Before I let you go, can I guess I do it to myself.
I used to have a dog until that motherfucker jumped out the window one night after hearing one of your karaoke streams. My dog decided to go up to the second floor, open the window, and jump and get out. So,
Start singing right now, bro.
no, please.
That is funny. Shout out to you, boo. I appreciate you. I am not ashamed.
So how did your stream go? I popped in while my intro was rolling, or yours.
It was good. I'm still learning about what's going on with this Minnesota stuff. So
yeah, I haven't tapped into it yet. Minnesota has, for the longest time, and I know I'm getting off my topic, but for the longest time, it's had a very large Somali population going back to when I was a kid. You know, because when you live in Wisconsin, you would go to Minnesota it's like, especially in the summertime, you would go. Minnesota's a beautiful place to go in the summer. I mean, especially Minneapolis.
Oh,
it's a nice place to go. So a lot of people from Wisconsin and by me being a Wisconsin native, would jump over to Minnesota, and they always, since I was a little kid, has always had a large Somali population. But I didn't know that, according to what Trump is saying, that they're wilding out and stuff like that. I don't know. But so I need to tap into that because I'm a little bit curious.
Yeah, it's the New York Times. That's what I just said. I said I need to read this New York Times article and see what's going on. And then of course he's jumping on it, of course.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So you just missed the part where I was talking. I played a clip, and did I delete it out already? Yeah, I deleted it out. Where it was from, what's that guy named? Philip Scott.
Oh, okay.
He was talking about. He showed a collage of mothers, primarily black women with one white woman, talking about how their sons were no longer liked them and hated them. And a lot of the women did not understand why and how that their sons could come to that, after all that they did for their sons, could come to a point in their life, their early adulthood life, of not liking them. And I was sharing with Almanize earlier today. I said, because there's something that happens usually in the late teenage years into early manhood. We start to understand what our mothers actually are. and then start to understand what they actually were doing to us.
Mm-hmm.
And so that is where the foundation, and don't let that young man get a hold of his father's side of the family and his father, and he starts to get a more holistic picture of why that father's influence was sporadic.
Mm.
And I share a little bit in the stream about the fact that, my grandmother took me in when I was 6. And this is kind of why I wanted you, because I could have this conversation with you. My grandmother took me in when I was 6 years old. And I said, people don't understand. I said, while I was growing up, 10 years old, 16 years old, 18, about to graduate, during that time when my mom would come around, she would treat me as if I was the reason why I wasn't in her house anymore. When the fact of the matter is, I'm not in her house because you allowed you and your husband decided to play crash test dummy with me from the time I was a baby until my grandmother rescued me. Here's why my grandmother rescued me. She ended up having to take me to the doctor one time. I'll never forget this doctor. He's dead now. Dr. Reyes. I will never forget the conversation. I had to be about 6 years old. I will never forget this conversation. This man looked my grandmother in the face and she said, ma'am, he called her by her name. Ma'am, if you do not get this son out away from your daughter, this baby will be dead in a year.
Oh my God.
That's how bad it was. I never went back home.
Wow.
Mind you,
wow.
Never went back home. And one would think that was like the salvation. And the topic is good faith and false prophets. And I stated earlier in the stream, Mashawn, that we like to, as blacks, we like to color everything in love. How do you cover something in love when none of us were born in it? Love is what you do. The representation of love for any people is the family that you build.
Yeah.
So how can we know what love? How can we not have the outcomes we have right now when we don't know love? But then now we're talking about your family. Your family is your foundation of how to even build good faith. How can you interact with the world within your family when your family themselves is showing you that there's no such thing, and there might be false prophets in your own family?
So after the doctor says that, your grandmother takes you, and then she, meaning your mom, has the nerve to act like she don't understand why you might not feel love for her.
My mother she spent up until 3 years ago when her father passed. I haven't talked to my mother in 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Up until 3 years ago, I spent year after year trying to bridge and codify a relationship with a woman who rejected it over the course of a life. Bad behavior. So when I was in my early 30s, about 30 or 31, my baby brother, he has a child. And by the way, I wanted a string on her neck yesterday because whatever. He has a child, and I ended up having to get that child and bring that child into my home.
Mm.
And I had to bring that child into my home because my brother and the woman that he had the kid with, they were together, but they weren't married. Social services came and got that child. On one of the we used to do my brother's visits at my grandmother's house. On one of these visits, my mother was there with my sister's children. And my nephew, he was about 4 at the time, was sitting in a rocking chair, and he was just rocking. Now, he's not rocking on wood floor, he's rocking on carpet. Ain't making no noise, he just rocking. My mother, because she's a fucking lunatic, got annoyed at this boy for rocking. She told him to stop rocking. Because he didn't stop instantaneously, he's 4. She walks over to him, she backhands him out the chair, and the chair tumbles over. And then he kind of rolled a little ways away from her, and then she starts making her way towards him. I stand up. I go, Mama, you're not doing this. Because I know what she can do.
Mm-hmm.
She's all in rage because this 4-year-old needs a little bit more time to process stop.
Mm-hmm.
So what this woman decided to do, I'm in my 30s now, this was on Christmas Day. We'll never forget it. This woman decides to call the police.
For fucking what?
She calls the police, tells the police that she was trying to discipline her grandson, and I flew into a rage and I beat her. We're talking about family, good faith family. My story ain't new. Now, the particular circumstances might be horrible, but a lot of us, the 75% of us, some of us have got similar type stories. Yeah, the cops came. I should have just left, but I didn't. You know what I mean? And my brother was on his visit, and they came, they took her statement. The cop says to her, and my mother's sister was there, my aunt at Raggedy Ho, was there, and the cop looked at, he said, "Ma'am, it's Christmas. I'm going to ask him to leave. And your son, that's a big boy over there. Because she told him I kicked the door in to the house. By the way, I got a key. Kicked the door into the house, flew into a rage because I saw her discipline and beat her. And the cop says, "Ma'am, you got a big boy here. I mean, it's Christmas. That clearly did not happen. But if you keep insisting on doing this, I'm going to have to arrest him so the courts can figure that out." My mother, and I quote, "Arrest that bitch. I want to destroy everything he didn't work for." That was 2012, I think, 2011 or 2012, somewhere around there. My mother, after that, I didn't speak to her for 2 years. After that, I tried to reconcile that.
First of all, I'm flabbergasted. I'm just totally y'all with these stories. I'm just flabbergasted. But I don't even know how you could even want to know her. You know what I mean? After something like that, so basically your enemy is your mother.
Yes.
To say something like that, I want to destroy, and then say it to your face, like
in front of the cops, in front of everybody. Oh, I got arrested.
Of course, that's what she wanted.
Now the more diabolical part of the story ain't what she did. The more diabolical part of the story is the fact that my fucking wife was sitting there at the time and she said nothing. Out of fear. I was scared.
Fear for what? What's your? I don't know. I'm sorry you had to go through that. These stories, y'all. Oh my God.
We're talking about, good faith and how we are and how we operate and false prophets. And the fact of the matter is that family is not exclusive to the fuckery that we see out on YouTube or the black culture. The black culture, what's going on, it starts with inside of the family structure, Mr. Hunt.
No, absolutely. I don't disagree with you, but just to
my mother.
What is she, jealous?
I don't. My mother is she's wicked.
It sounds like it.
But my grandmother, by the way, describes my mother as the best child she has. And I told her, I said, "Grandma, you are out your mind." The two children that she describes as her best are the two worst human beings she's produced.
I'm getting traumatized.
So I ended up. So my mother recently, I was at my grandmother's house maybe this summer, and recently made the statement like, in front of me, "I don't know why he don't like me." Much like the women stated in that compilation video of the Philip, whatever his name is, the black Pan-African man video that I just showed. That yes, that they don't understand. They completely become oblivious to that. A few years ago, before my grandfather, which is her father, passed away, I remember because I would go down and see him twice a year in Mississippi. I'm in Missouri, so I'm 5 hours away from Wisconsin, my home base, and I'm 5 hours away from my grandfather in Mississippi. So I'm like, that's why I haven't ever moved. I'm right in the middle. You know what I mean? Where everybody is. So on one trip down there, my grandfather asked me to call because he wanted to talk. He had been trying to get a hold of my mother, which is his oldest daughter. And he's like, call your mama. And I called her, put him on speaker, and handed it to my grandfather. And he's like, she thought it was me. She's like, no, this is your dad, da-da-da-da. They're talking, and he's like bragging about something I did for him or whatever the case may be. And he's like, you should be proud of your son. And my grandma said, that ain't none of my damn son. That he belonged to Henrietta. That's my grandmother. So this is the conversation over the years. And I was telling Almanize before you came up, I said, walking through life, believing or thinking that your mother or your parent or your father hates you is one thing. When you hear it, it's another. Her father passed away 2 years ago, and I had to handle all of that nonsense. Family and money. I had to handle all of that nonsense. Because it did not go down the way she thought it should go down, this woman, she goes, while she's screaming on the phone with her mother about, as if she did not know like the plans and what was happening. I was trying to get her to a whole lot of stuff. And she says, she screams into the phone to my grandmother, this is why I hate him so much. He thinks he runs everything. And I didn't get upset. I didn't get hurt. Nothing. It was peaceful. It was a peace. That's all I could really explain. There was peace because I knew then that I would never talk to her again in this lifetime.
I don't know how you've talked all this time. This is ridiculous. This is crazy. All this is disgusting.
But you know how we do and what the expectations are for us with our families, including money.
Right. But she sounds like the epitome of, she thinks she runs something. It's always these people that think that they are in charge of something over women over men in the community.
Yeah, I don't know.
No matter what they do, no matter what they say, no matter how they act. I think I don't know if it's you or if it's Kofo who says black woman is supposed to be God or something like that. Yeah. One of y'all say that.
Yes.
And so that's what it sounds like is going on over there, or was going on at that time through all this time. And then she don't like you for whatever the reason is, which is crazy.
I am her most my mother has 6 children. There are 5 other siblings, and I am her most productive one. I mean, waking up every day and going to work will make me more productive than my siblings. I love my siblings. They're interesting people, but they're not the most productive human beings on the planet. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And she's often been asked, "Why aren't you proud of him? He's the one." You know what I mean?
I don't even think enough of them, I'm doing the word of the day every day. I don't even think that they understand what that word means. And it's not an excuse at all. It is really proud or compliment or positivity or encouragement. Nothing positive. I'm telling you, nothing fucking positive. Unless it's fucking degeneracy. And this is not me necessarily coming down on your mom. It's these bitches, sorry, boo. It's these biatches that think that they run shit and then wonder why the people are out here talking about fucking black fatigue. Or why you can't have a damn relationship. Or why these men, y'all are going overseas. Or why you completely ignore and you go to whoever the hell it is that y'all go to. Maybe because of bullshit like this. That is between this story, looking at them biatches from earlier in my stream, where they're just, you're not gonna tell me. So you're not gonna tell me into extinction, clearly, for black people.
And I tell you, one would think the quote unquote rescuing, that my grandmother did. I will give her this. Had she not taken me in, I probably wouldn't be here. But with that being said, that became a different set of problems. My grandmother believes that what she brags quite openly about the job she did with me. And I just sit there and I just look at her. And that job was crazy. She doesn't remember her putting me out in my 11th grade because I wouldn't wash her son and girlfriend's dishes. She doesn't remember that. That I had to go stay with her auntie, my great auntie, for the remainder of my high school year on into college. She doesn't remember that.
I'm surprised you even got married, to be perfectly honest with you.
Who, me?
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you something. When I met my father, I met that Negro when I was 30, about 30 when I met him.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking about I'm well into my adulthood when I met my father. And I met him. I understood why I turned out the way I turned out, meaning that I'm productive. I got some kind of moral compass that you know what I mean? That I understood because I got to see me for the first time at 30.
Mm-hmm.
I am the embodiment of my. This is why genetics I think matters.
Mm-hmm.
Because this man, I didn't meet him for 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
How can I not meet him for 30 years and I got his work ethic? How can I not meet him for 30 years and I got his personality? How can I meet him for 30 years and I got his temperament? How can I not meet him for 30 years and think like him? Mashawn, do you not know that when we have family functions down here with my father, I got to call him to make sure that he and I ain't bought the same set of clothes because we dress alike.
Mm-hmm.
You know how many times I've shown up to family functions and me and this man got on the exact same thing?
Mm.
Genetics is a motherfucker.
Mm.
Why people out here having kids with who the fuck ever?
Right.
If it was not for his set of genes and his mental health genes, I would think my story would be very, very different.
Mm-hmm.
I would have a different outcome right now, given what I, you know. And then also on the other side, I kind of appreciate the fact that I didn't grow up here with my father because they don't believe in the thing that I believe in, which is I'm not my father's side of the family. It's all my grandfather, my dad's dad and mother. They had all boys. They had 5 boys. My grandfather was a machinist and a laborer. All my uncles, my dad and my uncles, they're laborers. I would have not been a laborer, and that would have been a problem.
Mm.
Because all the other boys that are born into the family, they're laborers as well. If I would have grew up here and expressed the way I expressed, I wouldn't have been a laborer, and it would have been a problem.
Mm.
It would have been a problem. It would have been a fight, and I probably wouldn't have the relationship that I have with him now had I grown up here because they would have tried to probably beat me into it because of their old way of doing things. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He's not that way now because it's kind of crazy. He's kind of weird that his youngest son, which is my youngest brother, is autistic, and the way my dad interacts with him, you would think it's the mother should be doing. My dad is all about the research and the science and the development of it. It's kind of weird to watch him knowing that he's operating in opposite of what he actually is with that boy. You know what I mean? And it's kind of cool to see actually.
Yeah.
But families, especially if you're the productive one, I got this clip from Cam Newton. I don't know if you've seen it. I want to show it to you, okay?
All
right, hold on.
Opened up about letting his family spend. Jameis Winston opened up about letting his family spend $400,000 a month. Have you ever heard such a thing?
Never heard of that. My family wouldn't even disrespect me or try or even.
Press pause right there, Peggy. Press pause right there. Press pause. It happens to the best of us.
400K that way?
Knowing what I know now, I would have kept that in my pocket. Hey, bro, man, I'm hurting. Hey, bro, look out for your boy. I don't even know. I can't even say or confirm if it has been upwards of $400,000. It may have been more, it may have been less. But every single person that comes into money, and especially for the people who come into money, that is the first person that comes into money around the people.
Yeah.
Knowing what I know now. I would have drew that line.
Oh, that's what you're doing.
And said this: write a contract.
Have you experienced that, Mashawn?
No, just for my kids.
Huh?
Is somebody looking for money, you mean? Or just my kids?
Just okay. You're lucky. You're lucky. You're lucky.
Mm-hmm. And you expect that from your kids, and that's never going to end. And that don't mean I give it to them, and you know what I mean. But this is crazy.
Let me explain to you what some of my family do. Good faith. But Sean, they've gotten so bold. They don't even bother calling me no more for money. They just send a Cash App request.
Goodbye, sir.
I get about 6 to 8 of those a week.
Wow.
Ranging from $20 to $900 every week.
Harmonize.
Huh?
I was just speaking of Harmonize. I feel like what you're saying though goes along with what I say, and it helps me say that I'm right yet again. Is that people want everybody else to take care of their needs while they go do what they want to do, and with the expectation that everyone is supposed to help them instead of them helping their damn selves and doing what they need to do for themselves and for their own families that they create. And it's unfortunately very prevalent in the community, and nobody wants to acknowledge that shit. And then want to just act like it's just some made up shit. It might not be a lot, but it's enough to cause a problem where we're still disproportionately affected at every fucking turn.
Disproportionately affected. Mm-hmm.
So something ain't right, but no one wants to look at any of that.
But
nobody wants to acknowledge the disproportionately affected. We just keep saying this shit. It keeps coming up, and then everybody wants to ignore it and say some dumb shit like Donald Trump is the fucking problem.
Yeah. I mentioned that earlier in the stream about Donald Trump, about what did I say? About the fact that when I was talking about our birthright numbers, and I was reminding people that in 1970 we were at 35%, and in 2022 we were at 70%, and how that was an abysmal failure. And I said in 2022 the white birth rate in 2022 is at 30%.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, Black folks we are an anthropological study of what not to do. And I said, everybody's worried about what Donald Trump is doing with all of his policies now. His policies, first of all, he ain't thinking about us.
He is not.
He's trying to bankrupt his own white women because he knows what's going to happen at the 30% tipping point.
What's going to happen?
What happened with us? How far along did it take for them to jump from 30%?
Yeah, child, they're gonna be washed out. His whole plan, but he said that at the RNC. That the plan is get them women back up in the house, and they're gonna start having some babies, and they're gonna get back in line and be in order. He said he started talking about that at the RNC.
Why do you think they're getting that? Why do you think they gutted affirmative action? They know we're not benefiting from affirmative action. Why do you think they're getting rid of the DI? First of all, DII, whatever you call it, that wasn't a law. It was a policy.
Exactly. And I've been saying this shit forever. I said, y'all out here fighting for some shit that wasn't even real at the end of the damn day. I was like, we've already had this shit in place before all this, and y'all for it and crashing the fuck out.
Even with affirmative action, they said, when the real, numbers come out, that still wasn't us getting the most benefit from that. So, I mean, it's never been about us getting on.
They're attacking something, the Republican Party, Donald Trump, whatever. They are attacking something that we don't even benefit from. They're not thinking about us. They're thinking about, they see what feminism is now, and especially modern day and modern culture is doing. They're at 30%. They know what's next on the horizon because they've studied us.
Wait, they're 30% birth rate?
Their out of wedlock birth rate is 30% as of 2022.
But they were having a birth rate problem because it was also on TV saying y'all need to get married and have some kids.
Right. Listen, they got two problems. This is why he's doing this. Their baby making is down, but their out of marriage birth rate is up. Two things are happening simultaneously. So they are attacking it multi-pronged. They're scrapping the deletion bill, Roe Wade. They're getting rid of DEI and they got a DEI and affirmative action. The two things that helped us become 75%.
Right, because then if you look at that, they're out of, you know what I'm saying, out of wedlock birth rate. A lot of them hooking up with us, so that's still washing them out. They like, we can't have it.
This is not about us, but we're out there. Instead of us understanding what the game is, once again, we're out here setting ourselves up to be finessed. But we like to be scammed. So
Love
you know
to
that.
be scammed. Colors love to be scammed. Absolutely. I can see that. I can see that. But you know what doesn't help, which is a part of the feminist movement. I have this video that I haven't gotten to get to, is they're all saying that men aren't shit. It basically comes down to all these men are lonely. Men have a problem with women. Men, it's all this men stuff. He can't. That's counterproductive. Even Oprah has one, which is the one that I'm trying to show hopefully this week, where there's a men loneliness epidemic and all this other type of stuff.
But here's why I think what Trump was trying to do with their women will work, and it might be just me reaching. I'm going back to what happened during Trump's first election. Trump and Obama were both elected by the same group of people, suburban white women. After Obama's second term, their husbands went bonkers over Obama, went ape shit. They became disgruntled at home. They became insufferable to deal with. They were DV rates went up in their community a lot. And so when Trump came along for his first term, those men told their women, I need you to vote this way. And those women, because they heard or watched or went through whatever bitching their husbands did during Obama's last term, said, I don't want to deal with this shit no more. And they went out and they voted for Trump, like their husbands told them to. When white men get fed up with their women behaving a certain way, they actually do something. And they got the mechanisms to do it with.
But I don't disagree for a certain age. But these new men, I don't know.
We'll see.
They came out. Gen Z came out and voted in droves for New York and Ma'am Danby, and so now they got him up in there. So that's considered lazy to me. Yes. So you want someone else to take care of you, right? The people you're talking about are probably Generation X and beyond people who are going to be not voting as much because they can't, they're dying, old, all that type of stuff.
Yes.
So, I mean, I don't know if they're, I know they're trying to reach them like they did with Barron coming out and telling them what to do, but I don't know if they can reach these new Generation Z, I guess, is what I would call them in A.
We shall see, but they're putting our generation, which is, well, I'm at the end of Generation X, into the millennial. Our generation, they're asking us to do the vice. That's why you got JD Vance as the vice president. He's a millennial. He's basically he's that bridge generation between millennial and Gen X. They're asking us to do it, and us, because now we came into our grownness and understand something. We see what's going on out here. That's why. So it's going to be our generation, Mashawn, that they're going to bank on to actually put this in perspective for a lot of them. And let me tell you something. There's a reason why they're still going around trying to gerrymander these districts.
They're all gerrymandering.
Yes, but they're generating. But it's being with the current makeup of the Supreme Court. Don't think for 1 second that this current administration is going to get more wins than losses in that area.
In what area?
In the gerrymandering area, for them to get more votes, more representation to offset stuff like what's going on in California and New York. More representation.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that they're both doing it. So I don't understand why it's more important that Republicans are doing it as opposed to Democrats.
Well, because Republicans, they got this shit down to a science. There's no way in the world.
They're definitely playing chess compared to
Yes.
checkers. I agree.
Yes. That's why I think they're going to win out over this, because they've been at this longer than the Democrats. Democrats just, I think during Obama's second term, when the whole crap popped off here in St. Louis about Michael Brown and his death, and then the districting, all that, they decided that's when Eric Holder left the Department of Justice, and he became they set up some kind of pact to go around and start dealing with the districting issues on the local levels. It's like they woke up and realized that these Republican states, like a Missouri, who should be for the most part a blue state, but it's a red state because of the way that the districts are drawn.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, they redrew the damn district to get Cori Bush out of office. Not to say that she didn't deserve to go.
Oh, I forgot about her.
Yes.
I didn't even
Yes.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I just don't think it's going to be as easy as they might expect, because these new kids are different. They're definitely different.
When has the Republican Party cared about something being difficult? That's
difficult. I said different. They're different.
Oh, okay.
They're different.
Okay.
And I don't think they're listening to anybody.
Let me do some of these super chats. I don't want to get away from it because I complain about them. All right, who is that? Okay, Frederick Howard, thank you for this $5 super sticker. I appreciate you. Let me see. Who is it? I gotta look down on my computer because my screen is so far away. Who is that?
Reaper.
Oh, Def Reaper. Oh, he bought some memberships? Oh, he became a member. Thank you, Def Reaper, for becoming a member. And then, of course, Growth Talk. Told you I was going to make it. What's up, Kofa? Okay, Kofa, I got something for you for making it. Let me see. Rashawn, close your eyes.
Ever seen a woman that's just thick? Like, disrespectfully thick. Unapologetically thick.
There you go, Kofa.
Is that allowed?
Out, sir.
I have no idea, and do I care now? I ain't making no money. I ain't making no money.
I was gonna say I might have to grab that. They will like that.
I'll let you know if YouTube flags. If YouTube flags it or not. But no, we know, and you would, like I said, we would think that coming with our family and thinking that we could get some sort of good faith out of our family, given the way that things are structured. I don't know. I'm glad that you've never had to experience that, or that you're not doing stuff like being hit up for money on a regular basis, or better yet, having the expectation, like my grandmother a few weeks ago, because this conversation came up. I said, I'm tired of people calling or asking her for money. And her response was, classic 80-year-old, what is she, a boomer? Classic, boomer woman. She says, well, let's hope one day you're not going to need anybody.
Yeah, no, that's just not the type of family I grew up in. And I don't think I have a personality where people think they can come ask me for money. I'm just going to throw that out there.
I didn't think I was either, but mine, they don't. I told you, they got to the point where they don't even want to hear my voice no more. So they just send Cash App requests. They just do. And I just look at them and I'd be like, oh, Lord.
That's crazy.
Crazy. Yeah, they do all the time. And so, and then like this video here with Jameis Winston talk $400,000 a month.
Child, that's why he's still playing. I don't want child.
So he's paying that for his family members?
His family members.
His family was spending, yeah.
They were spending $400,000.
And so he's playing right now, whoever that is?
Yes, he's playing for the New York Giants.
Yep.
Listen. You know, I always say that they all want to talk about racism all fucking day. You need to learn how to use fucking money. You need money. You need to learn how to save it and know how to use it, invest it, and all that. They don't want to hear me. I'm a white supremacist, and that's what I will be. And if y'all want to sit there and continue to be disproportionately affected and listen to all these people that when Jamal Bryant said sell your stock in Target, I'm like, I know you fucking lying.
Child, all he did was make the higher ups more money.
Girl, I was like, just like when I said, when Elon Musk said to sell Netflix, I'm always being like, who the fuck do these people think they talking to on what the fuck it is that we supposed to do with our money that we go out there and make? Exactly. But the people that you should be listening to, you motherfuckers don't listen to. Let me calm down. I'm sorry.
Because it's not what they want to. It's not what they want to hear. But back to James Winston, the only reason any of
what
that.
What do you want to hear? What do you want to hear?
Anything that's gonna make them feel good, and you know what I'm saying? We gonna stick it to the man because we've been done wrong and this and that and the woo. All black people did by they so-called boycotting and not going to Target was make this that the CEO is making more money to do less work.
The Target was on the down whatever you want to call it because of that ABCD wear. Because I remember that. So
you covered that.
I would, if I was going to go to Target, which is not a place I went to unless I was going to Starbucks, I would never come in here because I have grandsons and granddaughters and they cannot wear the same clothes. And I said that and I meant that. You're getting pink and purple and you're getting blue and green and brown. And I don't care who don't like it because yet again, it's my fucking money. I will spend it how I want to, where I want to. That was a big damn deal that they pulled that. They pulled it because it was such a big damn deal. And then here they come with this DEI stuff, and it's like, so y'all should be boycotting a lot more people than damn Target at the end of the day, but because the rest of them didn't do it under Trump, now y'all got to single out Target.
Because Trump, everything is Trump's fault because he president.
But everyone else had already did it, they just didn't say it publicly.
Exactly.
That's it.
Right, hold on a second, y'all.
If you don't know, you better find out the wolf pack. Here to prove a point. Number one, just believe that you don't want to tussle with them or be involved with them. Come in the ring with them, you're never walking out again. Don't turn your back on the wolf pack. Don't turn your back on the wolf pack.
He went away. What did he do?
Oh, that was the intro for Kofa?
What Kofa? The wolf pack was coming. Kofa.
Oh, okay.
So he came up and I guess he'll come back. Maybe something what happened with his maybe his Boost Mobile is down. Who knows?
StreamYard was StreamYard tonight for me.
Oh, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I wanted to, before I move on to because I want to get up out of here. I want to talk about one more thing. And about how we got these so-called friends.
What about your friends? Will they let you down? Sorry, go ahead.
We talk about these so-called friends, and more specifically, Mashawn, how black men talk about other black men. Now, one of the things that's been happening for years in the space, and I have to admit that I'm guilty of it, is the thing I'm guilty of is everybody's been dragging. I've kind of hit a ceiling with this shit about what's his name? Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson has been dragged through. What's up, Kofa? Russell Wilson has been dragged through the mud for years about his choice of relationship and what he decided to put up with. Now, do I think there's some validity to it? Absolutely. But there's this one particular talking point around Russell Wilson that has gotten me irked, very irked, because black men, we tend to do this a lot to each other. And then we want to sit around here and complain and bitch and moan about how we're perceived and if we're taken seriously or not. So I want to play this for you a little bit. Here we go. I think this is. Oh, was that it? Did I bring up the right one? Hold on.
That's Cam Newton.
Yeah, that's the Cam Newton. Let me remove that. Let me remove that. What it do, Kofa? Can you hear us?
I got you, bro. Can you hear me?
Yeah, how you doing?
Good. StreamYard was StreamYard, and I couldn't hear you at first. That's why I came in and dropped out. What's going on, ladies?
Dang. And hey,
Hey,
Kofa,
Kofa.
it's a mess. I'll do a replay on the stream tonight. Sorry I missed it.
All good. I was only on there like an hour. It was real quick.
So I don't know what I know. The pivot is really not that. They usually have issues, but this is from the pivot. I'm gonna pull it up, then I'm gonna take it off the screen, but we can listen to it.
You made it, huh?
Man, listen, this is hard to get out of Cleveland. Yeah. Listen, I know I don't really like Cleveland like that.
Nah, you needed a pivot.
Man, listen, I need to drink one right now because, yeah, that Cleveland airport is.
Hold up, limitless, niggas to me cap pinning it. I thought they hit it with
that. From where I come from.
It's yours. I didn't expect you to double down on it, but
What you want me to do? Say, oh, he's cool now.
No,
it's in his,
I don't
it's in his blood, it's in his kidneys, his liver, his gallbladder, his intestines. Lame is all through him, and it's gonna be there his whole life, Freddie.
I'm gonna say this. So you have culture, right? Society, and then there's a box. Then you have what's considered social norms. He's not in there in a lot of people's opinion, which is for you.
Yeah.
So when I look at, I have a son who's on the spectrum, right? And he's not what you might consider socially acceptable all the time because he's a bit socially awkward. That doesn't make him corny or lame. What I learned to lead with is, as a parent, I want to direct my thoughts or reserve my thoughts towards people by how I view my children. You know what I'm saying? Before I say something about a person, I'm gonna always say, what if that was my child? Then I can make an opinion on that. I told you last time, when the first time that whole thing came out, when the corny thing came out about Russ, when we first did it, that wasn't the intent to go viral for saying it. What I said was, I think Russ is cool. He's not us. Like he's not gonna be hanging out in the clubs with us.
Mm-hmm.
Copa, what do they mean? Russ ain't us. What the hell does that mean?
You know what that shit mean. He's not a real black man. It's crazy you brought this up right when I come out. I really think about this the other day. A lot of stuff they say that brothers are socially awkward.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of these so-called cats that got all this swag. They're socially awkward as well. You couldn't put them in a boardroom, which is why a lot of these athletes get fucked out of their money. It depends on the social setting. That may not be his area of expertise, the swag, the club, and all that. We tend not to view each other as men. If you're not a horn dog, if you're not chasing cat all the time, if you're not bragging on, I got these shoes, this, that, and the third. So that's what they mean. He's not us. That's how I take it. That's what I hear because I've heard it before. I mean, again, me and you have talked about it. Being in the black community is like perpetually being in high school. You got your jocks, you got your cool kids, got your cats that dress, and we 30, 40, 50 years old, still like, oh, he's, he lame, he corny, he this, he that. Russell Wilson is just the most popular example.
When I was a child, I talked like a child. I thought like a child. I reasoned like a child. But when I became a man, I put the ways of a child behind me. I don't understand why it's such a problem for that a black man only has to be one kind of man in order to be considered to be a man. I mean, it was cool for a while. It was like the in thing to jump all over Russell Wilson for his pick of his lady and analyzing if she's really into him or not. Whatever, she with him, he with her. At this point, there ain't nothing we can really do about that. And whatever happens out of that situation for them. But to sit there and attack, for the person who attacked this character was what's his name, Channing Crowder. The light-skinned guy, the Channing Crowder, he was the one that called him lame and a cornball. What I thought was, for me, the most lame thing was you sitting there calling this grown man lame and a cornball, and you an old grown man your damn self.
Because we got a lot of old YNs, bro.
Because he doesn't walk like you, talk like you. Who in the fuck is you?
Is that the one that spoke about going to his house for dinner?
No, that's the different one. We're going to talk about, that was a different guy.
Oh.
I don't understand why we think it's always, I don't know what the right word is, that it's acceptable for us to attack a brother who doesn't personify what we think a brother should be. When Russell Wilson might be the personification of what a brother should be, but why are we attacking it? You're attacking Russell Wilson's to a degree his character.
He's not the ready, Michonne.
Mm-hmm.
He's not the right caricature. He's not the he's not the right caricature of what we've always produced. As you know, white people have a certain view of us, but then we take that view and we run with it. My bad about the plane. Y'all know about the airport if y'all hear it. But again, the pimp, the hustler, the swaggy guy. You know, he has all the charisma that people are drawn to him for whatever. But a lot of those guys that have that, they don't do anything for a lot of people. It just happened to be some football players saying it, but we see it all the time. Again, we grew up with that. So-and-so had this car, or so-and-so always had the Jordans before everybody. It's this same caricature of what this black man's supposed to be. Supposed to have 100 chains on. This is why Kevin Samuels got so much pushback about putting on a suit and some fucking cologne. Being able to look a different way. But I don't know. I'm crazy as hell too. So
yeah, I don't know. But but we sit up here on these panels, or not just in panels, a lot of this stuff has spilt over, or to a degree has a era of it in real life that and we sit around here and want people to take us in good faith. How can you take anybody in good faith when your behavior is this way? How can anybody take you seriously?
I'm actually glad that you brought this up, because ever since I've been here, I've been hearing people talk about Russell and Sierra and what's going to happen to them, and she's just using him and all this other stuff. And here they are, at least a minimum of 6 years later, still together on baby number 4 or something like that. So it's like, are they praying for their downfall just so that they can say, I was right?
Because yes.
And that's a problem amongst, and you know, I don't typically talk about men, and I could, but I'm gonna be honest with you. It's a problem for people sitting around waiting for that to happen. One, let that man be. No, he's not like the rest, because he's like he is, and he's more successful just because he's not. You can't in one breath talk about single moms, bunch of kids, you ain't got no money, leave me alone, you ain't got all those troubles, and then here's a man who decided that I'm going to be with you and accept your one kid, and I'm going to take care of you, and I'm going to support you, and I'm going to do all these things that allegedly is what y'all be looking for, and I mean and then when somebody is doing it, you want to crash out on him, waiting, like it's like waiting for his downfall, waiting for him to get divorced, waiting for something to happen so that you can finally say, I told you so. So if they happen to get divorced in 20 years, after being married for 20 years, is it still going to be an I told you so? If they stay married for 30 years and they get divorced, is it then still going to be an I told you so? It is. He's a decent person, it seems like. He not running around here having a bunch of kids with a bunch of different people. He ain't out on the internet running off at the mouth. She is an entertainer, which is what I say most of the time. That's what she's supposed to do. She's been a dancer. She was a dancer. You ain't heard no scandals as far as I can tell. What more do y'all want? What more do y'all want?
That's what I was going to ask you. What has this woman done to quote unquote embarrass him? Or she ain't doing what Clay, or what's her name? Steph Curry's wife is Steph Curry's wife. She ain't out here doing what Steph Curry's wife is doing.
No.
And that's embarrassing. And
but you know why?
Hold on a second. Channing Crowdy made a statement, and this is why I'm offended, motherfucker, is because he made a statement about Russell Wilson being from Wisconsin. That's talking about, well, that's how Wisconsin dudes are. Motherfucker, you don't know Wisconsin dudes. I'm a Wisconsin dude.
Uh-oh.
Latrell Sprewell, who choked out his fucking coach. is a Wisconsin dude.
Mm-hmm.
So Wisconsin dudes, like a New York dude, like an Atlanta dude, like I'm talking about black men, we come across all shades. From the Russell Wilson to I'll choke you out Latrell Speedwell. But that just shows the level of ignorance he is. And let me tell you something about this whole what got people worked up is the fact that she was a baby mama.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was gonna say. And who she was a baby mama for.
Right. How many of these Negroes have quietly been stepdaddy to worse dudes than Future?
Most of them. I've seen them in real life.
I have said on multiple occasions, I've asked the question on multiple occasions, with the numbers being what they are, if you are a black man and you want a black woman, how in the hell do you avoid being a quote unquote stepdaddy? How in the hell do you avoid that?
Now, first of all, that's a pretty sad statement to have to make.
I know.
I've heard you say that before. It's a very sad statement. However, the community has a problem altogether, period, point blank, okay? Because of that, of what you just said, of not having any financial knowledge, of being disproportionately affected with everything and everyone. And then when you see someone decent doing something decently, you got a problem with that. But you have a woman over here who's not black, but they claim her, meaning Cardi, who's just had a baby while she's married to somebody else. But you want to, not have issue with that. Don't want to have issue with the things that you should have issue with, having issues with the things that you shouldn't have issue with. And this is why I say I don't care. Fuck them all. You land where you land. Plus, I think that most people are relying up here on this damn internet.
That all they doing is lying.
Exactly.
Every few months, we hear another lie coming out. We hear
Donovan Sharp.
Lie.
You talking about exposed?
That white guy, even that pearly girl. I mean, I know he's white, but
Andrew Wilson.
Andrew Wilson. No, see, Andrew Wilson, like the argument he's made, he's like, I never said my wife wasn't, but he held her out as an example of virtue, and she wasn't.
Exactly.
And she wasn't.
That story is crazy. Whoever them Indian people are, so it's all over. Everything is.
The comedian.
And his wife is a whore.
Yeah, but she had him convinced that she was a virgin.
Yeah, that Indian dude. Yes, that's bad. Yeah, she told on herself about how many dudes she had in college, but yet he thought she was a virgin. That was crazy. Yeah. But all of this, we're out here having these conversations, and none of them seems to be in good faith, and they're all false prophets, all to make a profit. Yep. And people, and I'm in my conclusion, I'll talk about Pearl a little bit, and they're bringing these people in and getting mad. You're bringing them in,
getting mad.
You invited them.
Fox in the hen house.
You bringing them in.
Exactly. I'm so tired of hearing about Pearl. Because the same ones that's doing all that hooping and hollering about Pearl, and she a grip and this and that, was the same ones over there quoting everything that came out of her mouth like it was chapter and verse gospel. So don't get mad because she took your money and then went back over, to Nick Fuentes and all of them and let them, know what was really going on, which is what they do, and they've been doing that since slavery. Like how many times is it gonna have to happen for you to get it?
Well, with those 92% and alleged educated people on Lapeef's show, I'm if y'all know the history and the white supremacy and what white people pillage and all, well, what the fuck are you on this panel for at the end of the day?
Well, first of all of that is out of their wheelhouse in the first place, because all they know is, women get on there and bash men and men get on there and bash women. That's like Fight Club Junior. So I don't even know why they even trying to pick that mantle up, because none of them have the intellectual capacity to even begin to have that conversation.
You mean those people on the Lapeef?
Yes.
You mean those weren't the 92%? Because they definitely was acting like they were.
They need to go back to what they know. Go back to what they know, which is not a lot. But what was the dude back to Russell Wilson? Again, if they were so concerned about Russell, they should have went and pulled Russell to the side, when the first wife, when it came out, we were saying the first wife was running through all the teammates, and before he cut her that $15 million check, y'all was supposed to pull Russell to the side then if y'all was so worried about him being lame and being simped and getting played on.
Dude.
Take care of that then.
Who you get $15 million to?
The first wife, Sierra, the second wife, the first wife, and she white.
Oh, I don't know nothing
came
about.
out, she ran through like 4 of his teammates.
Who went before his teammates?
Yeah, he was negotiating his the first wife, Ashton. Yeah, she ran through 4 of his teammates and then decided she wanted a divorce. But at the time, you know what I'm saying, the divorce was going on. He was in the process of renegotiating his new contract. So he cut her a check for $15 million.
Wow.
So again, if y'all was worried about Russell, y'all was supposed to pull him to the side then.
Oh.
Don't be showing up now, you know what I'm saying, talking about he a simp and this and that and the woo, and we so worried about him and all that, because y'all had like time to.
They're not worried about him. They want to talk. They want to dog him because his teammates ran through his woman. You know, LeBron's mama got ran through by his teammates.
This is what I'm talking about. That part right there.
It depends on who you like and who's popular, because ain't nobody.
Right, and then they know that Russell's not gonna say anything.
Excuse me. God bless the dead, but ain't nobody called Nipsey Hussle a simp.
Nope.
And he was stepdaddy to Lil Wayne's son with Lauren London.
So what we doing?
Cats do this across the board, but he a banger. This is why I always say that shit on my channel,
I
bro.
would tell any guy, if you're gonna get with a woman with children, which you're probably gonna do that, make sure that you are signing that it's a decent deal for you, whatever that might look like for you. Because if you want a black woman, that's what you I'm sorry, you're gonna get one, a baby mama. It
9
sucks.
times out of 10.
It sucks, but you're gonna get one. That's just,
you got to be very careful with that, though. Like seriously,
I said you do, because it is you got to vet that situation. Even that is hard. I mean, I story after story from guy after guy dealing with these women and these. The problem is it's not even the fact that these are women with children. It's what happens with the father.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
The woman will. You'll be surprised how few of these so-called baby mamas will put up boundaries with their fathers, and they got and let's just say if they got themselves if they found their Russell Wilson, these women will ruin it because they won't set up boundaries with the kid's father, and they'll let the father continue to interfere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what you had told me before, my mouth still drops open with that. But that's
about what? What did I tell you?
About calling up in the middle of the night and she don't get up and get out of the bed. I wouldn't even put up with that. I'm just saying, no way.
I know that's happened to a few people. The guy calling at 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, their 8-year-old son got a cold, and the woman gets her ass up and leaves out of that man's bed. Go, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Story after story.
Yeah.
This is why so many brothers just adamant about not dating single moms. But
I knew about a guy at work. He was devastated. He was in love with this woman. He was devastated. He came to work and he was so broke up because the woman he was dating, she had a kid with a guy. The kid was about 6 years old. And this woman she come to stay at the night at his house. They were laying in the bed and she just bust out crying because she got to explain it to him how she felt so horrible that her son couldn't be in the same household with her and the father.
Oh, it's time for her to go. She got to go.
Wait. She started crying because what?
She felt bad. This was what she said to the guy. She was feeling bad because her son could not have both his parents under the same roof. She was crying and telling this to her new dude.
In somebody else's bed.
Yep. To the new guy that she had.
You got to go.
Oh, definitely. But that's what I be saying. Like, y'all should be together, and you do it for children. You do it for your children. You don't do it for you. It's not about you. Don't have kids then. jumping around, having all these. I just don't understand. You having all these kids with all these different daggone people. Junior got to go over here this day, and then there's another kid named Junior that got to go with somebody else on a different day, and you got to check with 55 million people on whether your kid can do something. It's ridiculous. And people act like that's not going to have a freaking effect. Of course it is. And then you continue that cycle and they do the same damn thing, but you think the community is going to turn into something. Until that shit stops, it's never going to be anything than what the hell it is that we're seeing, if not worse, in my opinion.
These women would like to they tell you we are a package deal. They don't tell you that the we includes the father.
It's not funny.
Not
Facts.
I'm still back on that.
I'm not bullshit.
Because clearly she wasn't that hurt if she couldn't, you know what I'm saying, control her coochie from getting in that man's bed. If she wasn't that hurt.
That it's always the pleasure. You know what I'll be saying. The pleasure.
No, she went to her new guy crying about a kid that she hate the fact that her and the kid's father could be in the same roof together.
I get it. Yeah. And you shouldn't have moved on. You should have figured out what the fuck to do this so that y'all. I agree. You should be under the same father and mother instead of being shuffled all over the place. That shit has an effect. I don't care what nobody say. I had a stepfather and a father. It has an effect. I don't care what nobody says.
LaShawn,
you shuffling 10 kids off to 10 different places, and y'all think that shit is cute.
The crazy part, LaShawn, is that she tried to convince the guy that she wasn't crying because she missed that man, because she just felt bad for her son.
It's always about the kid, because the kids are blameless. So that's an easy way to try to shoot that shit in there. I've heard that, not personally me, but I've had homegirls in the same situation. I know the dude they with is a good dude, and they'll be confiding in me, and I don't know why the fuck they did that. But so you know the smoke I have to give them, and I really think they probably came to me so I could get their ass a straightening. I don't know why. It's not like they moved any different. She still feel. I just wish his daddy was around. If he don't want me, that's fine. But why the fuck would you tell that man that? But I'm thankful. Because most of the men finally realized and left their ass. But I've heard this conversation before, but it's nothing to do. And this is why brothers are so 10 toes down about not dating single moms. But like you say, if you want a black woman in our community, that's what it's gonna be. This is where you get the passport talk and dating out and all that shit. But either way, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna be with a baby mama. And the fucked up part about it is, on the other side of that, there's a man spending more time with your child, and you're spending more time with somebody else's child, and it just keeps passing, and it's become the norm. It's not so much that black men are stepdaddies and simps and shit. We've been taking care of other men's kids since slavery. If that woman and the child got sold off to our farm, and Hattie Maiden came in and one of her other kids got sold off to another farm, we've been taking care of other men's kids just because that was the structure at the time. But it's become so normalized in our community. It was that period of time, that Me Too feminism movement, that whole early part where the new black family was a mother and her children. Wasn't the man in sight, and it was acceptable.
Commercials too. Those are the commercials and ads. Yep.
Once the black church accepted it, it was a wrap. It was a wrap. Because this is where we are. This is the norm.
Yeah.
So anybody doing anything opposite, like Michonne said, you actually raising the kids in a 2-parent household, that the 2 parents that made the children, i.e. a marriage, that's weird. My parents been married 45 years. I was the weird kid because my parents were still together.
That's how I was. I was an adult when my parents got divorced. But yeah, that's how I was.
All right, y'all. You know what? I was gonna do this whole conclusion. I'm tired. I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna go. And I appreciate y'all for coming up, at least having a conversation with me about this. It didn't go like
soon?
Huh?
You gonna be back soon?
I got one more scheduled this month. We'll see.
Okay.
Look, single by choices. So last week because they noticed the fact that I was having a stream today. So they made a comment, and I think I talked to Kofa about this earlier. I'm not sure, but they made a comment that I found interesting. because they mentioned the fact that I was going to be, firing up the stream today, but they said something to the fact of, your channel hasn't gone the way we thought it would go. And this is the point that I kind of want to make from the beginning of the top of the stream was, no, it did not. And it did not because not one person can do the heavy lifting of an entire plan. When you are single by choices are two married men with wives that can help take the load off or do other things so they can build another entity. When you are a single, I don't care if you're a man or a woman, that you can't, there's only so many things you can hold and push forward in your hand. Mm-hmm. And for me, unfortunately, it's this, because not only do I still got to be a father, I still got to be an employee. As you know, I'm in the process. I'm in the medical school process. You know what I mean? And that's a tremendous amount. I was laying in bed last night. I was talking to Cole about this earlier, pissed off by the fact that I've been trying to get my kitchen and bedroom in order for over a month. And I've been too tired, too wore out to do anything. When I'm off, which is usually Sundays and Mondays, I'm usually at home. My ass is laying in the bed. When I'm sitting there, if you on a Sunday or Monday, and I'm in the bed and I'm half asleep because I didn't work, I didn't put in 60 plus hours that week. I didn't been to class 4 days that week. I didn't had to tap into father. Like this weekend was my daughter's birthday. I literally had an exam on that Friday, left the exam, went straight up to Wisconsin. That's a 5-hour drive to set up my daughter's 11th birthday. By the way, I told her we not doing no more big things. I told her, I said, you officially bankrupted me. You and your girl. She wanted to stunt for her friends. So I said, this your last year of being able to stunt on Daddy's dime. But doing that, making sure that's okay, and then making sure she had a awesome day, which had nothing to do with me. It was all about her. I was just the wallet and the organizer of her day. And then to get up the next morning and then drive back to St. Louis so I could prepare for my next week. And guess what? In a week and a half, I got to go do it all over again because she's performing at the halftime of the Milwaukee Bucks game. You got to do it all over again. Mm. But so, no, I wish I could. My point of saying this is if you truly, truly want to build anything monumental or generational, it has to happen. Link up. It has to happen with two people. You can't do it. You can't do it alone. I don't care what the fucking propaganda is. You can't do it alone. You gotta pick. I gotta pick which one I'm gonna do. And I decided I decided it wasn't this. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy the creative process behind it. But for me to get this, to make this financially, I would have to sacrifice too many of the things that's going to impact my daughter. Her name is Victory. It's going to impact Victory. And I can't do that. I can't make that decision because her development and what she needs is way more important.
So you're trying to tell me, and I don't want to belabor this, is that single by choice left you a comment, but kind of at you because your channel is not growing?
Yeah, some old backhand. That's why I be trying to tell you I couldn't listen to them.
No. They didn't leave a comment. They said it live on their stream.
Yeah, some old backhanded nonsense, but that's what they do. Quit listening to them.
No, they're okay, but I'm just saying.
See, you better than me, TJ, because I'm still pissed off about when you went on there talking about your situation. You know what I'm saying? The last time you was on there, I ain't like that then.
Okay, I'm glad they said it because I could use it as an example of why you can't do it alone.
Yeah.
They're able to do
we get that.
Yeah, they're able to do what they're able to do what they're doing because they got somebody. I'm not angry or even slighted by what they said because it was the truth. I don't care about that.
I hear you. I just wanted to make sure that I understood what you were saying. That's all I'm trying to do. But it's still a little backhanded.
It is.
You got to take care of you. That's why fuck all these motherfuckers. You already know. Yeah. Fuck them.
No, you got something to talk about anyway, because hell, if it weren't for Kendra, they would have nothing to say. But y'all got wives. So I'm questioning the whole situation over there anyway, but I keep that to myself.
Do they have kids too?
Yes.
But that's what I was telling you earlier, TJ. You got real life shit, bro. You ain't when you were going into the spiel. That's why I was like, bro, you ain't got to explain shit to me. We already in the same boat. And it wasn't like you was explaining like, needing my approval shit like I knew, but I was just saying, bro, you got a real life. The same way I do, like I told you, I've been missing in action the last 2 weeks. Why? I got people in town and I wanted me some fucking me time.
Yep.
I
wanted to sit out here, smoke my goddamn cigar, and watch Game of Thrones like I'm about to, because I fucking felt like it. That's why I've always said the Kofa on YouTube is a Kofa in real life. I don't give a fuck about no clicks, no likes, no numbers. Oh, your channel ain't growing. I got more subscribers and all that shit. And for them to say that, or anybody else, because I've said it on my live, so I'm not saying anything different just because you brought that up. It's way too many men that are happily married in this red pill space, worry about what the fuck other men got going on.
That should tell you about the quality of them happy marriages.
I was just
Where the
pointing
hell
out
they at anyway?
No,
the
it
value
needs to be said
value.
that and that's cool. And again, because people think things are a certain way. This is me and my red pill hat about brothers that talk like we talk about, the women or whatever. But you ask the majority of black men, the majority of us want a black woman and want to be married. We're just not dealing with the foolishness anymore.
Good.
So that's the thing. Like, we understand it take, two. A lot of us came up in 2-parent households, whether they eventually got to work. We've seen it work, or even through step parenthood, because there's a lot of cats saying don't date stepmoms, but I wouldn't be the man I am without my stepdad.
Right.
So somebody was a sucker for your mama when you and your brothers and sisters don't look alike, because your mama might have been 3 by 3, but that's a whole nother.
Well, I said your mama. A lot of men don't want to admit that their mama's a hoe. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm saying, if all y'all got different daddies, guess what your mama is?
Mama's a hoe. When
a
y'all
hoe.
have that live stream, just like you just said, have that live stream.
Yeah, she's a hoe. And that's the thing. A lot of people don't want to accept it because it's their mama. It's their mama. Like somehow your fucking mama's special.
No.
I had a friend girl one day tell me, she was like, so I'm a hoe because I got 3 different kids and what each got their own dad. I said, you're not virtuous.
You got bastards. Come on now.
I would be like, yeah,
you're not virtuous. What I mean,
we just learned that word, bastard.
Yeah, that was the word for yesterday.
Yeah,
Saturday.
But we just learned it, right? It's this weekend, bastard. You got bastards.
For real, y'all take that and do what you got to do with it.
But I love the fact that you say she's not virtuous. I like that too.
That was a nice way of saying I mean, what do you want me to say to that? Well, when Theo did that compilation, my fucking God.
Child, that was just sad.
When you see it all together like that, that is crazy work. And all of those kids off of 44 men.
Yeah.
That was think about that. That was 20
That was 3
minutes,
times the kids.
20 minutes of work of Theo. Now imagine if he went through every Kendra G show or Ashley,
Jesus.
or we counted them in real life. That's why I always say, don't just look at the women you're dealing with. Look at the women in your fucking family.
It averages out something like 3 men per woman.
Yes.
Or something crazy like that. It's real.
And the sad part, them just the ones that got you pregnant, not the total number of ones you done had sex with.
Bingo. And I said those are the successful pregnancies. That's not the miscarriages. Those aren't the ABs. Those aren't the guys with low sperm count. Those aren't the pregnancy scares, because he still hit you raw. That's not including all those numbers.
So that's the verifiable numbers.
What are we doing with it? All right, let's go. I appreciate y'all. I'm for the go.
Shout out to you. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And we'll see you, as you say, Michelle, on the next one.
See you guys.
Peace, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Peace.